3. Barclay Mechanical, Jones and DeMille Engineering, Snowcap Lanes, Rick Bartholomew, Gunnison Valley Hospital, Los Amigos. Snow College presents our pregame show. New Charter University, our halftime program, and Sunrise Engineering presenting tonight's post-game show. That was the Manti sponsorship. Manti Player of the Game tonight, sponsored by Snowcap Lanes. For the Richfield Wildcats tonight, this game presented by AmeriGas in Richfield, Mountain Land Supply, D.P. Curtis Trucking, Zions Bank Richfield, Mason Machinery, Sevier Valley Medical Center, Dairy Queen, CentraCom Channel 10, Jones and DeMille Engineering, Riverstone Contractors, Larson's Ace Hardware, Barney Trucking, Jorgensen Lane, and Herb's Place. That's Herb's Place sponsoring a player of the game, a free meal at Herb's Place, and Jorgensen Lane also a player of the game. That'll be a Dairy Queen Defensive Player of the Game award that we'll give away tonight as well. For the Richfield Wildcats, Templars on the home field, Richfield to visit here. On our pregame, we'll talk about a lot of the dynamics that enter in to tonight's ball game. We'll take this 3-minute break.
When I was thinking about going back to school, I got pretty nervous, just knowing I had a young family and money was tight for us. As a mother, online courses were perfect for my busy schedule. One of the things that was huge for me was how affordable this program was. Without the online courses, I know I wouldn't be able to finish school or transfer to a major university. I will always be grateful for Snow College in helping me reach my goals and helping me set the pathway for my future.
Zions Bank wishes the Manti High School Templars a winning season this year, and as community bankers, employees at Zions Bank's 2 convenient locations in Manti and Ephraim share your common values: commitment to family, hard work, and an appreciation for our pioneering heritage. They offer friendly personal banking services, a variety of products to meet your everyday needs, and local decision making. Discover why at Zions Bank we haven't forgotten who keeps us in business. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Mountain Land Supply of Richfield is the Central Utah leader in plumbing, waterworks, turf, and ag irrigation. Mountain Land Supply features an entire line of Rainbird sprinklers and systems for your yard or commercial property, and backs it up with an extremely knowledgeable staff that cares about the local community because they live here. Visit them at 2104 South Red Hills Drive in Richfield, or call for a showroom appointment 435-896-9606. Mountain Land Supply is proud to sponsor high school sports and wishes the teams, coaches, and players success.
The living room. It's a great place to watch TV. Just like your backyard, break time at the office, or while on the go. Now you can watch TV everywhere. Stream your favorite shows or live TV from many channels in your cable package on any computer, tablet, or smartphone. It's all included with CentraCom cable TV service for no extra cost. Sign up to watch TV everywhere today. Call or visit CentraCom.com to learn more.
AmeriGas Propane is America's #1 propane supplier. Why? Because AmeriGas Propane of Central Utah is the most reliable, safest, and responsive propane service. Your AmeriGas drivers go the extra mile to offer service you can rely on. AmeriGas Propane of Richfield features a local staff that serves you 24/7. Don't put a price on your family safety. Call today, 435-896-5071, 896-5071. It's never too late to save on propane. Lock in your price and ask about their monthly payment program. Go to AmeriGas.com.
Providing full title service in the area for over 60 years now. D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield has been serving the area since 1946. Merrill Ogden and his qualified staff can handle all document preparation, title searches, and title insurance. When your financial transactions require title work, request D-Land Title of Manti or Richfield. With over 60 years of service, call or visit D-Land Title for a no-obligation consultation on your title work. That's D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield.
It's the pregame show presented by Snow College, aggressive in keeping up with advancements in upper education, and they implement the new strategic plan, including revamping of the general education curriculum at Snow College, the Badger Nation. Well, 31 games have been played in this series between these 2 teams. Richfield leads the all-time series 20 games to 11. Of course, they dominated early on when Manti was just getting their program going back 3 or 4 decades ago. Manti more upper hand lately since about the 1998 period of time when they have won most of them. Richfield's won on a couple occasions. Last time Richfield won a matchup between these two was in 2010, and that was a Richfield victory at 33-21. So again, Richfield leading the all-time series at 20-11 between these two teams. Richfield Wildcats coming in here into tonight's ball game. They have the victory over South Sevier, second game of the season. Their losses to Ben Lomond, to San Juan, to Union, to Juab in league play, lost to Canyon View, and a loss to North St. Pete in their league play. And so they come into tonight's ball game for the Richfield Wildcats having the one victory. And they really have a lot of injured players that just decimated were a word to ever use. Sometimes it gets overused, but it would really apply to the Richfield Wildcats, as injuries have just really taken a toll on them and on players that are two-way players that are critical for them, both sides of the football. Manti coming in. They defeated Carbon rather handily in game one. The loss to Juan Diego and the loss to Pineview. Victory over Emory, loss to Canyon View, and then the win over North St. Pete and the victory over Delta. Going to be interesting to see what they do in the top five in 3A after last night. North St. Pete defeated Juab. That will send some of those rankings into a topsy-turvy, trying to figure some of that out. Another game tonight is Delta and Canyon View squaring off with each other. So that's some of the particulars on this portion of our pregame show presented by Snow College, nationally ranked as the best two-year college in America with consolidated rankings by 3 publications. Apply online at snow.edu. Back with more pregame in a moment.
You've heard for years that Gunnison Market is your hometown grocer. Now Gunnison Market offers you a hometown pharmacist. Come experience friendly hometown service from Sean Sorensen at Gunnison Market Pharmacy. Sean grew up in Gunnison and offers competitive prices, expert advice, and convenient hours, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Explore the loyalty card benefits, which gives you a free gift card for every 10 prescriptions filled. Call 528-7555 or visit Gunnison Market Pharmacy.
New Holland's T7 Series tractors from Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora deliver more power but lower your operating costs. Talk about a great combination. These 100 to 195 PTO horsepower tractors feature engines with EcoBlue SCR engine technology. They breathe better for more complete combustion and deliver cleaner power, increased torque, and enhanced fuel economy. Stop by Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora and learn more about the T7 Series tractors from New Holland.
As temperatures become cooler outside, insects will be looking for someplace warmer to live, like inside your home. Spiders, ants, earwigs, and other bugs will take refuge in your kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, and even closets. To protect your home, call EcoLife for a professional pest control barrier. EcoLife applies a smell-free, safe-for-the-environment product to ensure you and your family are bug-free. All services are guaranteed. To schedule EcoLife to rid your home of bugs, call 283-6002. EcoLife is a proud supporter of Central Utah High School sports.
You know that Sevier Valley Medical Center provides our communities with high-quality care through advanced technology with a hometown touch. What you may not know about are the wide variety of services that we provide, allowing you to stay close to home. Our on-site specialty services include orthopedics, ENT, general surgery, podiatry, and internal medicine, all available full-time, allowing you to utilize them when it's convenient for you, not just a few days each month. That's Intermountain Sevier Valley Medical Center, healing for life.
At Cache Valley Bank, we have an app for that. Hi, this is Shayna, and our new Cache Valley Bank app will let you view your accounts on the go. You'll also be able to search for branches or ATMs near you, transfer funds, view recent activity, and deposit checks, all with the touch of a button. And our checking accounts offer free debit cards, lower rates than our competitors, and no minimum balance. So when you check your balance on that new Cache Valley Bank app, all you'll see is green. Stop by today and meet our friendly staff in Ephraim, Mount Pleasant, and Fairview. Cache Valley Bank, a tradition of helping, member FDIC.
Is there anything more beautiful than DQ Soft Serve? Smooth and creamy, the best kind of chili. Whether alone in a cone or making the sweet foundation for our famous blizzard treats, the DQ Soft Serve is made to make your taste buds go, whoa, that's good. Check it out for yourself at the Dairy Queen in Elsinore next to the Sunny Shopper. Take the I-70 exit and bam, you're there. DQ, this is fan food, not fast food. Check it out for yourself at the Dairy Queen in Elsinore next to the Sunny Shopper.
Back in our pregame show presented by Snow College, prospective or current students can find information on scholarships, housing, and curriculum at snow.edu. Russ Olson joins me here for this matchup tonight. Manti Templars coming in with 1,485 yards in rushing. They average about 211 and a half a ball game. And passing, they average about 96 a game. So this is a team more run-oriented. They average about 300 yards a contest, and that 1,500 yards rushing over the course of the games here kind of illustrates that. In the rushing department, Derek Wright's their leading rusher at 481. Max Stevens, 431. Caden Stevenson, 281 in the rushing department. And Braxton Good at 87 yards in the rushing department. Rush usually, I mean, Derek Wright is tremendously athletic, put up big numbers against North Sanpete, was a big factor in that ball game. Usually, you'd prefer that you had a running back hitting your most rushing yardage in the season. In fact, there are some teams who their quarterback is at negative in the rushing yardage. But Derek Wright's not your normal quarterback.
He's not the normal quarterback. And one of the things on those statistics that can skew it, if you just compare them straight up, is a lot of those are blown plays that Derek made something out of.
Yeah.
And so the plays where they plan to run Derek, because Manti does that. Those are successful also. Max Stevens, last week, Delta had a player on defense just continually follow Max Stevens because he has more carries besides, of course, Derek than by almost double than the next one on the team. So, with Manti, Derek Wright is a very big key player on their rushing game and also the passing threat.
I think the problem, the defensive coaches look at that and they say, okay, I want to assign somebody to him. He's hard to contain. He is so quick. Doing with Max Stevens, a running back, that's easier to say, okay, linebacker, you're assigned to him. Wherever he goes, you go with him and that kind of thing. That doesn't work so well when you've got a Derek Wright dimension for the Manti Templars. Of course, he is a senior and Mac a junior. And in the receiving department, Jordan Howe, I guess you could say he's the go-to receiver. He's the guy with enough height that sometimes they'll just put the ball up, let him get to it. He makes some acrobatic catches, and he has about 300 yards in pass receptions. Out of that, he's got almost half of the yardage in pass receptions of the about 670 that the Manti Templars have thrown for on the season. Defensively for Manti, the number 3 tackler in the whole state in all classifications, Manti's Jordan Howe. He hit the triple digits now with 100 tackles, and then Doug Sheese, 79 out of the defensive end spot. Tristan Barrett at linebacker at 60, and you've got Caden Stevenson, a linebacker as well in there. But Jordan Howe's the headhunter. And, you know, some of it he does kind of quietly because I haven't realized that he was anywhere near that total in tackles, and yet that's pretty big numbers.
Yeah, he's involved in a lot. He's everywhere on the field. And when you say number 3, that's 1A through 5A.
Yeah.
That's the whole state. So.
And in other words, he's averaging 12 and 13 tackles a ball game. That's a lot.
That is a high of percentage for a player to be involved in all those. And he's starting both directions. So he's playing a lot. He must be in really good condition, like most of the athletes for both of these teams tonight.
All righty. It's the Manti Templars, Richfield Wildcats. Our pregame show presented by Snow College. Check out the expanding online offerings. And you can get an associate's degree in as few as 18 months. More details at snow.edu online. We'll take this commercial break and then be back.
If you've ever seen something that is lopsided, whether it is a bike with one wheel smaller than the other, or you made something that had one part that was different than the other, then take a picture of it and enter the Lopsided Photo Contest presented by Manti Telecommunications and Channel 3 Productions. There are great prizes for the top photos, so be creative. You can find something or make something lopsided and take a picture. For rules and to enter today, go to manti.com. Entries are due by September 30th, and voting will commence on Manti Telecommunications' Facebook page at the beginning of October. So start searching for lopsided things and enter today.
Riverstone Contractors is your plumbing source for Sevier County. Riverstone can fix leaking pipes, replace water heaters, fix and replace faucets, disposals, water softeners, and toilets, along with tubs, showers, and grab bars for your bathroom. Riverstone does plumbing for new construction and remodels. They also take care of your heating and air conditioning needs with central air, swamp coolers, gas furnaces, and sheet metal ducts. For the best plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service, call Riverstone Contractors at 435-896-6264. That's 896-6264.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured that Sanpete Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal, hometown touch. Intermountain Sanpete Valley Hospital, healing for life.
Larson's Ace Hardware is your helpful place for satisfying lots of different appetites. Appetites for hardware, plumbing and building materials, paint, tools, electrical, housewares and small appliances, sporting goods including ammo, lawn and garden, toys and seasonal items, and, well, hey, just stop by the store and check it out for yourself. Oh yeah, while you're in the store, satisfy the biggest hunger of all, the grumbling in your tummy at Munchies. Check it out at Larson's Ace Hardware, the helpful place in Richfield.
Bargain roofing job failing and your ceiling is damaged? Is your siding looking really shabby? Or you just want a new look? For as little as $150 per month, Clean Cut Roofing and Siding will update your home using 100% American-made products. That's right, all made right here in the great USA. And hey, take 48 to 120 months to pay. Fit it into your budget. Call Clean Cut Roofing and Siding for a free consultation, 435-427-3205. Or check them out on Facebook. Clean Cut Roofing and Siding. Peace of mind every time.
At Zions Bank, they haven't forgotten who keeps them in business. It's you. While Zions Bank has offices in 10 western states, you are still number one. From checking and savings to business and personal loans, Zions Bank now offers its customers online banking services. Zions Bank is a leader in providing electronic banking services. If you haven't seen what Zions Bank has to offer you, stop in today. Zions Bank in Richfield, 55 West, 100 North, behind the post office.
Our pregame show on KMTI and also for the Richfield coverage tonight here in our broadcast as we bring that to you on CentraCom Channel 10 and on the radio for you on KSVC AM and KMTI AM in our broadcast tonight. Thanks for joining us. Our Snow College pregame show, one of the nation's finest transfer institutions in the nation, campuses in Ephraim, Richfield. Visit snow.edu or phone 800-848-3399 for more information and details. Let's take a look here now at this Richfield Wildcat team. 650 yards in rushing, averaging about 92.5 a ball game. They've been more pass-oriented at 921 a season total, 131 a game, 224 yards a game. But again, now with injuries, they've lost a key pass receiver. And it just is really kind of putting a crimp in a lot of their plans. Magleby was the leading pass catcher at 31 of them for approaching 70 yards. And then they've lost him with the rushing of Evan Jerome and Jensen Magleby. They were accounting for almost all of that 650 yards. Griffin now in the passing department, they've had to do some shuffling around there too, quarterback spot. But Griffin has passed for 250 yards and one touchdown coming into tonight's ball game. Defensively, again, injuries taking a bit of a toll, but Austin Biggs with 44 tackles and Jake Luke with 29 leading Richfield Wildcats in that department. And Richfield tonight as a visiting team will be within the lighter colored upper part of the uniform here for tonight's contest. Coming in the standings into tonight now, we've got a lot of teams with one loss. Nobody is unbeaten now in the region. Jew Abbott 3-1, North St. Pete at 3-1, Manti 2-1 coming into tonight, Canyon View at 2-1. Manti favored in their game, Canyon View is favored in theirs. If they both win tonight, you'll have four teams at 3-1. It'll come down to the final season, or the final game of the regular season to determine who will be where. And any of the teams could end up anywhere from number 1 to number 4 in the whole scenario, depending on what happens. In between this week and that final week will be the off week next week. And for Manti, it is off week, a chance to kind of heal up. Some other teams will be playing some games on Wednesday, most cases, next week. So we'll talk about how many points. We've talked about yardage. We'll get back to how many points a game these teams average. We come back here with more of our pregame show presented by Snow College.
An old friend was telling me he's tired of jumping on a piece of equipment just to have something come off in his hand. That won't happen when you have Barclay Mechanical on your repair team. Equipment repair or fabrication, yep, Barclay Mechanical can do. Metal or mechanical repair or fabrication, yep, you guessed it, can do at Barclay Mechanical in Manti. Call Barclay Mechanical 835-5084 or stop by 595 West 100 North in Manti. 835-5084, oh yeah, go get 'em, Manti Templars.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking in Salina has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking's Big Blue trucks are recognizable throughout the Intermountain West, hauling products that keep this country running. Barney Trucking is honored to be a part of Central Utah and supports our local schools and community. When you're out on the roads, remember to drive safely. Barney Trucking of Salina, proud to support the high school teams this season.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesanddemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
Every night's like family night at Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place. When you want the best burger in town, you'll find it at Herb's Place. Got a birthday or special event? You'll find the facilities at Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place. If you want arcade games, you'll find them at Jorgensen Bowling Center. If you want a light show and cosmic bowling, hey, you'll find it at Jorgensen Bowling Center. Your family deserves the best. Your family or event is special to Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place, 980 South Coveview Road, Richfield.
So, wondering where to go after the game? How about Snowcap Lanes in Ephraim? Not only is the bowling great, but the food at Snowcap, one word, incredible! From the amazing line of mouth-watering burgers and sandwiches to the fabulous prime rib on Friday and Saturday nights. Then check Tuesday and Wednesdays as open bowling days. And now's the time to sign up for bowling leagues. There's openings for men, women, and mixed doubles. Hey, it's a great way to meet people and make new friends. The place for fun and food. The Snowcap Lanes on South Main and Ephraim.
This is Mark of Risk Managers in Ephraim. It's hard to believe that Risk Managers has been serving all of your insurance needs for over 60 years, and we will be here in the future to take care of your auto, home, business, farm, health, and life insurance. Check first with us for very competitive, affordable rates and great customer service. For a quote and more information, contact Mark, Nate, or Rick at Risk Managers, 110 North Main in Ephraim. Call 283-4685.
Back at Manti High School, tonight's coverage of the Manti Templars and the Richfield Wildcats. Snow College presenting our pregame show, traditionally and nationally ranked as the best two-year college in America with consolidated rankings, and the biggest enrollment they've ever had reported this year at Snow College with the two campuses. Well, let's just take a little bit of a look at the scoring now in these two teams. Manti averaging 30 points a ball game offensively. They are giving up 26 points a ball game defensively, so they average about 4 more than they give up. Richfield offensively averaging less than 2 touchdowns a ball game, 12 points a ball game defensively. They're giving up 43. And it's pretty obvious, Russ, that Richfield just can't allow Manti into the 30s if they want to have some kind of a chance tonight, because their offense is crippled with injuries. And when you get in that kind of a case, you're saying, okay, I got to hope my defense can carry me a little bit if you're a team like Richfield against Manti. Tough order tonight because they are shorthanded in Richfield, but that's, if you're the coach, you got to think, okay, guys, get in their mindset. Let's do the job defensively, and then we'll just see what goes from there.
Yep, and, they don't have as much to lose as the rest of the teams in 3A right now. So pull out the stops and come out and do what you can.
You can be the risk taker at this point. For the Manti Templars, we did talk about Jordan Howe being number 3 in the state, number of tackles. Derek Wright tied for 2nd in the state with his 6 interceptions. Wouldn't be surprised if Manti if they get an early good lead here, they may go to some backup players fairly early on tonight, probably early in the third quarter or the like. They are bringing the captains here to midfield, but they're going to have to stop them while they present the colors. We'll do the same thing. As the presentation of the colors, we'll take this time out.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, high school football season. And this year, Gunnison Valley Hospital is pleased to be the official sponsor of the Manti High Templars. But you don't have to be a Templar to be in good hands at Gunnison Valley Hospital. They've been treating local athletes for more than 75 years. Whether it's a routine visit or a sports-related injury, Gunnison Valley Hospital doctors and physicians are standing by to assist high school athletes throughout the region. Cutting-edge technology, hometown convenience. That's Gunnison Valley Hospital.
Are you ready for a fiesta? It's always fiesta time with Mexican food that you crave at Los Amigos. Try the Mexican steak or one of my favorites, their fajitas or chimichangas. They have smothered burritos and enchiladas, non-alcoholic drinks and kids meals. They use homemade flour tortillas and every table gets chips and the secret salsa. And check out their Friday specials. It's fiesta time at Los Amigos, 3rd East and 700 South in Ephraim, right behind the movie theaters.
Zions Bank wishes the Manti High School Templars a winning season this year. And as community bankers, employees at Zions Bank's 2 convenient locations in Manti and Ephraim share your common values: commitment to family, hard work, and an appreciation for our pioneering heritage. They offer friendly personal banking services, a variety of products to meet your everyday needs, and local decision making. Discover why at Zions Bank we haven't forgotten who keeps us in business. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Mountain Land Supply of Richfield is the Central Utah leader in plumbing, waterworks, turf, and ag irrigation. Mountain Land Supply features an entire line of Rainbird sprinklers and systems for your yard or commercial property, and backs it up with an extremely knowledgeable staff that cares about the local community because they live here. Visit them at 2104 South Red Hills Drive in Richfield or call for a showroom appointment 435-896-9606. Mountain Land Supply is proud to sponsor high school sports and wishes the teams, coaches, and players success.
Welcome to our pregame. As we get close to kickoff here, Snow College presenting our pregame show tonight. Online offerings, if you just want to chip away at a few things, you can do that. If you're wanting to try to accelerate your degree pursuit, you can do that online. That is snow.edu online. Get more information and details. Find out a whole lot about the Badger Nation Pride and Excellence. And coming up tomorrow, a Badger football team will take the field. We'll have that at an 11:30 pregame on KMTI. Tonight, broadcasting on KSVC, KMTI, and CentraCom Channel 10. Other games on tap tonight. Altamont at Wayne. It's Gunnison at Summit Academy. South Summit at Millard. Enterprise playing at Grand. Beaver at San Juan. That will be a big one. In fact, we might see if we can get a little update on that one along the way once in a while off from the web. North Sevier, South Sevier, Carbon at Juan Diego. Emory at Grantsville, Delta, Canyon View tonight. Emory Grantsville played actually last night. Emory won that one. And the Richfield at Manti matchup here tonight with these two. 3A rankings coming into this week. Juan Diego, number 1. Juab, Morgan, Canyon View, Manti. Morgan had a bit of a battle with Union. I think you can take 7 teams and figure there are 7 that are pretty legit. And that's not much different than last year. You take the top 5, add in North St. Pete and Union, and on a given night, one of those might beat somebody else, even Union, because they really gave Morgan a run for their money. Standings will take, they'll get thrown into the washer and you can spin cycle before they come out and see what we end up with next week. 2A, South Summit, Beaver, San Juan, North Summit, and Enterprise. 1A is Kanab, Duchesne, Diamond Ranch, Milford, and Monticello. In our radio rankings, however, in other rankings around the state, it is Diamond Ranch that comes in at the number 1 spot for that. So that's been our pregame show. Perry's Power Guide, for those who are curious on that, Manti does rate the heavy favorite tonight, but we won't get into that one really anymore at this point on that. Again, if you are just joining us, Richfield Wildcats injury problems. Manti shuffling some things around an offensive line for some conditioning reasons and the like. They've decided they have a few players that have got to go just one way. So you'll see some of the youngsters working in the offensive line for the Manti Templars. It'll be anchored around Connor Meekum, the junior center. About set to kick off. Richfield will receive, going left to right. Manti kicking off right to left. Now, did Richfield win the coin toss and elect to receive then, Russ?
Manti won the coin toss, and they deferred to the second half.
All righty. So that's why Richfield will receive to start off with here. Coming up on our post game, we will name our players of the game for tonight. And that's the Jorgensen, Lanes, and Herbst Place player of the game tonight. Richfield Wildcats, and a Dairy Queen defensive player. And then also for Manti, the Snowcap Lanes player of the game, hamburger fries, 2 games of bowling for that player. And on the Richfield side, that's the free meal at Herb's Place. And then that free meal as well, Dairy Queen for the defensive player of the game. Tee it up, approach to the ball, and the left-footed boot, and it's underway, and it goes clear into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. Total the ball from Jorge Lemus, the junior kicker for the Manti Templars.
It's good to see Manti settling into a regular kickoff against North San Pete and a little bit against Delta. their strategy was keep the ball away from the
Spencer
return.
Apple, yeah,
Yep.
Spencer Apple guard.
Keep the ball away from the return men. So that one was an open out kick, and it barely crossed the goal line, and that means they'll bring it out to the 20.
Okay, and that defensive front line for the Templars, they'll go 3-man front, sometimes a 4. They will bring in 4 down at this point. And the TAT is to anchor it. And handoff, tailback, tries to work into the middle and gets maybe a half a yard. Brought down on the tackle by number 58 of the Templars. Was that a 58?
58, Ben Rozier,
Yeah.
and the first one to make the hit was also Tristan Barrett, number 43.
Templars have some injuries. The man they projected to be the other Sheese. So Sheese, who's got brothers playing college level, is the one defensive end. Second down and almost 9 for the Wildcats. Split backs, hand it to the crossover back, spin, loose, football's picked up by the Manti Templars and goes down to the 3-yard line. So picking up the loose ball was Michael Alder, I believe, or was it 72 or 70? Yeah, it is
75.
Alder. Yeah, it is Michael Alder who picked up the fumble, and Manti will have a great opportunity here. They tried to run counterplay and pop the ball loose. Richfield will cough it up on a turnover.
Manti actually switched to a 5-man front there and put a lot of pressure in and met him defensively about 2 yards deep as the exchanges were happening, and we ended up with a fumble and the turnover.
So Manti first and goal at the 3-yard line. Back split motion out of the speed back right to left, and hand it off to the left-hand side and in for the touchdown. Not much problem, kind of the counter handoff in the backfield. And I'm still trying to figure out who carried the ball.
Number 9,
Okay,
Max
so
Stevens.
it was Max Stevens. All I saw coming up off the pile was offensive lineman.
I couldn't pick the number up either. We actually had to rely on our spotters here with Wendy and also the Andersons over there doing the regular announcing at the stadium.
It's a fake all the way, I think, on this one. And they'll roll left, got a man open in the end zone, and makes the catch for the 2-point conversion. They improvised, looked right, came back to the left, and goes to Jordan Howe. He had 2 options to who to throw it to on the left, and the Templars convert the 2-point conversion. They go up here early. 8-0, we'll be back in a minute.
AmeriGas Propane is America's #1 propane supplier. Why? Because AmeriGas Propane of Central Utah is the most reliable, safest, and responsive propane service. Your AmeriGas drivers go the extra mile to offer service you can rely on. AmeriGas Propane of Richfield features a local staff that serves you 24/7. Don't put a price on your family safety. Call today, 435-896-5071, 896-5071. It's never too late to save on propane. Lock in your price and ask about their monthly payment program. Go to AmeriGas.com.
Providing full title service in the area for over 60 years now. D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield has been serving the area since 1946. Merrill Ogden and his qualified staff can handle all document preparation, title searches, and title insurance. When your financial transactions require title work, request D-Land Title of Manti or Richfield. With over 60 years of service, call or visit D-Land Title for a no-obligation consultation on your title work. That's D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield.
Wells receives the kick at the 3-yard line, runs across trying to get to the fence on the left-hand side as he came right to left, gets it to about the 17-yard line. That, again, Bodie Wells, a sophomore for the Richfield Wildcats, on the return, and they'll take over 1st and 10 at the 18 after one run and then turning it over on a fumble on their second play in that last series. They'll start here now again at their own 18, started at the 20 on that last one.
Tyler Squire on the tackle.
Some of that defensive front for the Templars. You've got Michael Alder on the one outside part of that. The linebackers will be right up on the line. Templars are really packing in. Even the safety is only 7 yards off the ball. Motion comes to the right-hand side. Quarterback on an option. Griffin looking to the right-hand side, trying to turn the corner, and going to go down for a loss. Clear back inside the 15. There was too many people out there, and the Templars have quite a bit of defensive pursuit. Marshall Dotson. Templars are starting really some of their, I don't know that you would call them second level or backups, but ones that don't get as many minutes, they are resting some of them a little bit, kind of shuffling in and out of that defensive backfield. Dotson has earned more and more minutes as the season has progressed. So a loss of 4 there for Richfield.
Also, I'm surprised that Ben Tia has started on the defensive line the last several games. They're probably moving him to offense, and that's where Ben Rozier is, number 58 right now.
Sam Tia is on that defensive line. Pitch into the backfield. Pursuit, try to get to the outside. Jordan Howe to chase. Gets the tackle. Drives out. He came way inside and still was able to get to the sideline. Richfield had some pretty decent blocking there. It's just Jordan Howe, that linebacker, and he has Pursuit written all over him. And they get a 4-yard gain. It'll break up third down and 10.
Yeah, without Jordan Howe getting that would have been a first down or more for the Richfield Wildcats. Jordan Howe just getting out there. We had the cornerback was blocked excellent, like you said, and good shape there for the blocking from Richfield.
3rd and 10 at the 18 for the Wildcats. They dare throw the ball, working with double wide outs to the right from a shotgun set for Griffin. Wide side of the field is to that right, and he's got some Pursuit in trouble into traffic and goes down, back under the rush. And, there really wasn't anywhere for him to go. I think he made the smart thing, because if he threw that up, it was going to get picked somewhere. They had 3 receivers out, and the coverage was just at the right spacing on him. So it's a -4 on the sack, but he probably did the wisest thing he could.
Yeah, and Manti's linebackers pinned their ears back. All 3 came on a blitz. That pocket just collapsed. There was nowhere to go.
Yeah, and no underneath receiver for him. There was not a release receiver down in that little pocket over the middle. So a punt, high snap. It picked out of there. Wells on the boot, and it'll take a Richfield bounce inside the 40-yard line and down to about the 34-yard line, and that's where Manti will take over. So they get good bounce that gave them about 17 yards on the end of the punt, as Wright decided not to try to fair catch it. It was a little bit of a tough one there. People come down on him, so he played it conservative, and it'll be Manti 1st and 10 at the 34, leading it early on here, 8-0, 8:42 remaining in the first periods.
Bodie Wells, a nice punt there. He's not their normal punter. I believe Evan Jerome is their normal punter.
So they not only lost offense and defense, they lost their punter, and who knows what all else with the players that have gone out with injury. Wide side of the field for Manti to the left as they go south to north, right to left. Counter it, hand it to the running back, Max Stevens. Surges to the right-hand side. Pickup of about 4. Stevens, the junior running back for Manti, to give him a good long 4, 2nd and short 6 for Manti at the 38.5-yard line.
There's number 29 is Jed Polson at free safety, and we have actually seen Matt Griffin play both directions on that, so a little bit of a change for Richfield.
Another sophomore there at that safety spot. They're having to plug players in. Handoff on the delay, handoff, and that's not going anywhere. And the offensive lineman didn't really clear house like he should have there for the Templars, and the running back ran right into him on kind of an inside trap. That offensive lineman, the Templars plugged some players in there. You've got to get your man up the field or clear him to the side, one or the other. You got 2 things to do: get him to the side or clear him up the field. And that time it got clogged up by an offensive lineman that just kind of got tied up. So pickup of a yard, and Richfield has forced a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Wyatt Peterson plugging up that hole. Also Jackson Tallman for Richfield.
3rd down and 4 at the 40-yard line for Manti. Ring motion, left to right. Hand it off, sweep. Stevens, he's got room. Into the secondary, got the first down easy. And inside the 50 to the 48 of Richfield. So a 12-yard run for Max Stevens and the first down for the Templars.
Jake Luke coming up from a linebacker spot and lining up as a nose tackle, switching it to a 5-man front. But Manti taking that sweep out around the outside edge, the line holding it, and a good first down for Manti.
At the Richfield 48, in wide side left as they work from the right hash. 7 minutes remaining, 8-0 Manti, the early lead. Speed back motion from right to left, and they'll hand it off, and Richfield does a good job of pushing that one back. See where they decide to blow it dead. One about the loss of 3, back to the 49-yard line. So good job there, Richfield, of staying home. They're plugging that up. Again, Manti they got one young man starting his first time tonight in the offensive line. So the loss of 3 for Manti puts it back to their own 49.
Jackson Tallman in on the first hit on that tackle. About 2 yards deep into Manti's backfield, but many others helping, Bodie Wells and even some of the backers.
What Manti may be seeing here is some defensive linemen that are a lot quicker, and they're really pretty tight in there. Look how tight the gaps are in that line for Richfield. So Templars will look for the sweep over the right-hand side. The halfback pass got it complete. Howe, and he's down to the 30-yard line. And if Max Stevens would have thought he had the gun, he could have gone to receiver deep. Instead, they went with an underneath wide open to Howe on that little tied in hold and then flare out right. And the first down completion easily to the 30-yard line. So a 29-yard completion for the first down.
I've been impressed this year with Max Stevens throwing those with the gloves on. You see some of them, when they know the play's called, they take the gloves off, and the defense might cue off of that.
Motion. Handed to the speed back, trying to come around the left-hand side. Knockdown block happens. There's another knockdown block, and there's a run inside the 20-yard line. Templars just knocking down the defensive pursuit. I think trying to give it all he was worth was Luke. Maybe was in pursuit there, and he just got cleaned out of the play, as did Jesse Naya Jr. for Richfield. So Manti to the 19-yard line on a 10-yard rush there.
Brant Stevens from the fullback spot laying down one of the blocks. Also Brenton Thompson, the left tackle, who's been starting for McFarland out there on one of those blocks.
1st and 10 at the 19.5. Handed off right-hand side. Stevens cuts back across the grain into the middle, and he'll have about 4 yards to the 15-yard line for Manti. It was designed to sweep. He cut it back inside, which means somebody on the outside of Richfield did his job. He turned that play back in.
Yeah, he turned that play back in, and it was caught by the defensive end from the right-hand side. As we mentioned many times, Bodie Wells playing a lot more this week because of injuries on other players.
So 2nd and 6 for Manti at the 15-yard line. Quick count. Stevens going to look to throw again. In trouble. Goes down. Richfield, good pursuit. You know, you went to the well too often there. Richfield had that one snuffed out. And his best place to go would have been throwing it back to the quarterback over on this near side. But a big loss. A loss of about 9, 10, 11 yards as they go clear back to the 26-yard line now.
You know, on that play, he should have had plenty of room for that because he was 10 yards deep to throw that from his own backfield. So some of the blocks were not picked up. He had 2 players in his face when he turned to go to throw.
So 3rd down at the 25. Nice defensive play by Richfield. And in the quarterback spot, going to throw, looking down into the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete, out of bounds. Nice defensive recovery as they were trying to go into the end zone for the Manti Templars. Give credit defensively. As soon as we get a number turned around here. 23 in the defensive coverage is Matthew Griffin. And otherwise it would have been 6 if he hadn't kind of forced the receiver out of bounds. So that brings up a 4th down call for Manti after the incompletion. Richfield hanging in there defensively. Gave up a big play or two, but they've stiffened defensively here.
Would you say this is out of field goal range for Manti's kicker right now?
You know, that would be 42-yarder, depending on your game situation. Yeah, the ball's a little bit to the right, but it's not clear to the right hash. But the Templars going to run from a shotgun set here on a 4th down. And Wright looking up the middle. He's not going to get the first down. Dashes the outside and then goes down. So a pickup of about 3. So Richfield does a good job of stopping the Templars on that drive. The score still standing at 8-0, just inside the 4-minute mark here in the first period. How much? Get from Wendy how much that rush was. It about 5 yards net or 4?
She's still checking the spot. It's at the 22. That was a 4-yard gain for
Derek. So the Templars had no conversion on a 4th down there. They did convert one of the 3rd down ones in the drive, and then the other one they did not. So at 50%, and Richfield takes over at the 22-yard line. That's a big stop for Richfield defensively. Now let's see if they can get something generated offensively with a wing left. Staying put, and Griffin, the quarterback option, makes the pitch to the outside. The ball is loose, picked up off the ground, and then driven out across the way. Mason Holdaway does a good job. Templars were just pouring through on that. Griffin made a wild pitch, and Holdaway was able to get over and save it. Lost clear back to the 15, and the running game is just really struggling right now for the Richfield Wildcats. Loss of about 6 there.
One of the one of the things that Richfield had going against them there is they didn't have any receivers out on this side of the field, and so the cornerback, who's one of the faster ones on the team, was just on a blitz because he didn't have anybody to cover. And as soon as he saw it was a run, he collapsed in there. But there were several other Templars right in the middle of that. But Nate Lee's the one doing that blitz.
Double safety look tonight with Stevens and Wright for the Templars. Dotson on the corner near side, make the pitch sweep, trying to come to the outside. And the pursuit will get him down at about the 14-yard line. Played well defensively, again by Marshall Dotson. And makes a nice play on that sweep right that lost another yard and a half back to the 15-yard line. It'll be third down now.
Dotson coming from that, I believe, outside linebacker position. I'm impressed with him this year.
I think he's really at a cornerback. I think they're running a 2-2 deep tonight.
2-2 deep.
Yeah,
with
corners and two safeties.
And where I've seen Dotson do a lot of moves for Manti is on the special teams too. So
he's right out there on the wide receiver. He and Good on the corners tonight. Because your outside linebacker in that one gap. Griffin in the pocket. Going to look long. Throws a wobbler up. And no good. What? Mason Holdaway made every effort he could. He almost turned that into a spectacular grab, but he could not hold on across the way. And a good pass from Griffin to keep that up and over the defender.
Yeah, that was put in in the correct spot so that that Holdaway was the only one that could have got that. I believe he had it, and it probably bounced on the ground as he was coming down because he had to stretch out to try and get that.
So a punting situation for Richfield here. Bodie Wells, first quarter, he'll punt for his second time here with 2:15 remaining. And a high snap over his head, and it goes out of the end zone. So be a safety, and now they'll have to punt. So Manti was up 8-0, and bad snap there for Richfield over the head of Wells. There's nothing he could do about it. Went clear over into the end zone. So
I did that once as a center, and
you never forgot it, huh?
I never forgot it.
All right, let's take a timeout here. We'll take a 30-second break.
You've heard for years that Gunnison Market is your hometown grocer. Now Gunnison Market offers you a hometown pharmacist. Come experience friendly hometown service from Sean Sorensen at Gunnison Market Pharmacy. Sean grew up in Gunnison and offers competitive prices, expert advice, and convenient hours, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Explore the loyalty card benefits, which gives you a free gift card for every 10 prescriptions filled. Call 528-7555 or visit Gunnison Market Pharmacy.
Well, now 10-0. Manti on top with 2:12 remaining in the first period after the safety, because we better write that in the books.
Now, coach's option on this, how to kick this.
Right.
It's a kickoff formation, but if they want to punt it instead of put it on a tee, that's their choice. They're bringing the tee out. Bodie Wells is bringing out the tee and getting set up for regular kickoff. And it's from the 20-yard line instead of out at the 40.
So they'll tee up there. And this should bode for good field position for the Manti Templars. And the kick that's going to be fielded on the bounce at the 31-yard line to the 40 on the return. And then peeling back and then trying to turn the corner, and he does. Derek Wright to the 50, to the 45-yard line, goes out of bounds to avoid the contact. The quarterback, safety, kick returner, the punter, does everything except kicking for the Templars, and gets it into Richfield territory at the 44 for the Manti Templars on top. 10-0 coming up at halftime. Our halftime show will be presented by New Charter University, one of our sponsors here. And we've got players of the game: Jorgensen Lanes, Herb's Place player of the game, and Dairy Queen defensive player of the game for Richfield. For Manti, the Snowcap Lanes player of the ball game. Templars real spread out here. One running back handed on the delay dive with wide receivers each way, and they'll get about a 3-yard gain on just a basic dive play. I think it was Stevens on the carry.
Yes, it was Brant Stevens on the carry, not Mac, and just straightforward and sets up a good play call for second down. Now, going back to that kick return, too, if you watch Derek, he starts out at a jog and lets his blockers develop. And then as the tacklers come in on him, that's when he hits the sprint. And he always surprises them on his speed.
Double slot set, spread, single running back, right, rolling left. Going to throw it up, going to try to put it up for grabs for his wide receiver, and incomplete. Knocked down again in the coverage by Jesse Ney. It was intended for Max Stevens coming out of the backfield. So a good defensive play there as the Templars went long on second down. They've kind of rolled the dice a little bit tonight in the passing game and have not, other than when Max Stevens threw short and then wanted to go short, it's been longer patterns tonight. It's third down call, another third down situation here for the Manti Templars. Shotgun and keeping himself right to the outside. He's in trouble. That is good discipline by Richfield defensively.
Daniel Harmon, number 67.
And Mason Holdaway. Yep, good job defensively. They kept Derek Wright from getting out. They read him, did not go for the play fake, and sack him back at the 45-yard line. So a loss of 4. And it will bring up see if they go with a punting situation. They will from the 45. So Richfield is held other than on the 2 drives that had any length to them here in the ball game. Derek Wright punts that out to the right-hand side, trying to keep it away from any return. And it takes a nice Manti bounce inside the 10, goes out at about the 6-yard line. And that's where Richfield will take over. Tonight's game has been being presented in part here on CentraCom Channel 10 on our broadcast tonight, as well as on KSVC and KMTI. So the Templars turned one over on downs, and then this one on the punt. And so the Richfield Wildcats here with a bit of an opportunity, but their own backs to the wall. They can't afford errors. That's what's killed them so far. They'll start here at their own 5-yard line, deep in their own territory. From a shotgun set, one running back, handoff goes to that running back, and he's hit at the line and then driven down. Handoff went to Jake Luke Jr. A lot of underclassmen playing here with the injuries for the Richfield Wildcats. So he gives him about a yard gain, second down and 9 for Richfield, and that will put him at -10 in net rushing.
Ben Rozier for Manti, the first one to make contact on that up in the middle, not giving up. That's where Manti struggled early in the year, was trying to dominate on that defensive line.
That's the end of the quarter. Manti leading 10-0. We'll be back with second quarter action in a minute.
As temperatures become cooler outside, insects will be looking for someplace warmer to live, like inside your home. Spiders, ants, earwigs, and other bugs will take refuge in your kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, and even closets. To protect your home, call EcoLife for a professional pest control barrier. EcoLife applies a smell-free, safe-for-the-environment product to ensure you and your family are bug-free. All services are guaranteed. To schedule EcoLife to rid your home of bugs, call 283-6002. EcoLife is a proud supporter of Central Utah High School sports.
You know that Sevier Valley Medical Center provides our communities with high-quality care through advanced technology with a hometown touch. What you may not know about are the wide variety of services that we provide, allowing you to stay close to home. Our on-site specialty services include orthopedics, ENT, general surgery, podiatry, and internal medicine, all available full-time, allowing you to utilize them when it's convenient for you, not just a few days each month. That's Intermountain Sevier Valley Medical Center, healing for life.
Switch into the field and starts second quarter play. 10-0 Manti the lead over Richfield, but the last 2 series, Richfield has done some good things defensively, especially up front. Very good discipline, staying in the lanes they need to. And force the Templars turnover on downs and then a punt here, and Richfield will have second and 10 or 9 at the 6-yard line. 2 backs now, 2 halfbacks each side of Griffin at the quarterback spot. Rolling out himself and in trouble, and that's penetration and another safety for the Templars. Tack that one on by Doug Sheese. You know, I don't think I would call the Sheese side, and of course he will play defensive left side, which is the offensive right side, unless we're left-handed quarterback possibly. So another safety, and we'll take another 30-second timeout.
At Cache Valley Bank, we have an app for that. Hi, this is Shayna, and our new Cache Valley Bank app will let you view your accounts on the go. You'll also be able to search for branches or ATMs near you, transfer funds, view recent activity, and deposit checks, all with the touch of a button. And our checking accounts offer free debit cards, lower rates than our competitors, and no minimum balance. So when you check your balance on that new Cache Valley Bank app, all you'll see is green. Stop by today and meet our friendly staff in Ephraim, Mount Pleasant, and Fairview. Cache Valley Bank, a tradition of helping, member FDIC.
Just into the second quarter, 5 seconds elapsed, and it's Manti up 12-0, and Richfield again to do the kickoff to the Manti Templars, and Manti should end up again with a relatively good field position, but Richfield has neutralized that. One of the things we'll look at on our halftime quick hits will be our field position and conversion review, our scoring drive recap, and our big play rehash on a quick hits from halftime presented by New Charter University. They employ fair and experienced faculty and staff that are ready to help you succeed, and we'll have that coming up at halftime. So the kickoff will go right to left here for Richfield. If you're watching this on TV on the streaming, Richfield with the white top, blue bottoms, and Manti, black bottoms with the red jerseys for tonight's ball game. And their return men deep at about the 25-yard line. Deep enough that probably, unless it's a real boomer, will have to come up to receive it. And the kick is going to be a short one. Fielded at the 38, 40-yard line. Good to the 50. Good looking for blocking. 45 inside the 40-yard line. Goes down at about the 39-yard line for the Manti Templars. So Manti again with excellent field position.
We do have a penalty on that play. I'm suspecting that there was a block by Manti that's going to make them lose some yardage. A face mask, it looks like.
Okay.
Sometimes I can't tell the difference between the holding and face mask, depending on how the ref does that. Either way, they're marking it from the 48 of Richfield.
He's supposed to have an open hand and show pull down on the mask if he does that one. So
it will lose about 20 yards for Manti because it's from the point of the foul.
Score update on Kanab and Parowan for you. And that one is at 14-0. 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Manti Templars at their own 42. Hand off, nothing.
Actually, it was a fumbled snap.
It didn't exchange well.
The exchange didn't happen, and Derek fell on it pretty much.
So it's 2nd down and 10 after no pickup there. So Templars offense has not been real crisp either. They've had some good plays. They just
that time they actually lined up with a tight end, which they haven't been doing much this year.
Which they've done again now. Tight end right, bring motion from right to left, and try to speed sweep it to the outside. The block out there by Max Stevens. Turn in the corner, Stevenson. And Caden Stevenson has 1st down yardage inside the 45. The whole key to that, Max Stevens the lead block, because the defender pursuing Mason Holdaway was in position to turn it in, but they just got outnumbered on the outside.
Yep, and Tanner Lefevre, of course, as the receiver out there getting a block, but you also have Michael Alder pulling from the left tackle coming out there and actually being downfield about 10 yards to try and pick up the deeper safeties. And
at the 44-yard line of Richfield here for Manti after that 1st down. Wide side of the field to the right. Double wide short side. They bring motion out of the slot left, handed on the counter to the right-hand side. And Max Stevens is to the 40-yard line. So pick up 4 yards on that 1st down play to the 40 for Max Stevens.
Mitch Harris, number 67 for Richfield on the tackle. Also Jake Luke, number 21.
Be 2nd down and 6 at the 40. Ball between the hashes here in the second quarter. 10-28. Manti with 2 safeties plus the early touchdown, leading it at 12-0. Motion from left to right. Handed off to Good. Gets behind the blockers. Just works his way up there and gets the 1st down. He wasn't looking for any open field. He just had blockers out in front of him, and it was just man on man to get the 1st down to the 34-yard line.
You know, Good's a player that I've loved watching. Or was it Nate Lee that actually Nate Lee was the ball carrier on that.
Oh,
I've been really impressed with him though this year, and Good, because they've started getting a little bit of time as sophomores, and boy, they've developed over the years.
34-yard line, and then here comes flags flying as they made the handoff from right to left to Caden Stevenson.
Blew the play dead.
Yeah, so this is going to be a mark off against Manti. It was on a 1st down at the 34-yard line. So 5-yard mark off. We'll put the ball back to the 39. Second quarter action. 12-0 Manti, the lead. And the other big game tonight, Delta and Canyon View, as far as the region, and Canyon View heavily favored in that one. So 1st and 15 for Manti at the 38-yard line. Manti's really basically gone 3 basic run plays and 2 basic pass plays. They've only opened the playbook about 5 plays deep. Right-hand side. They go to another pass there, though, and get it to Max Stevens out of the backfield on the flare pass right. And he gets it to the 34-yard line. So gets the lost yardage back. The penalty yardage on the 5-yard pass completion brings up 3rd down for Manti at the 34-yard line. Another 3rd down conversion, and they have not done all that well tonight.
Austin Biggs on the tackle on that.
And we've got flags again. Brought a man in motion, the Templars did. They had the quarterback under center. Another 5-yard mark off against Manti. Maybe some of those young offensive linemen are moving a little quick there. You're going to have to learn a lesson or two. The ball will be back at the 39.
You know, sometimes as a sophomore when you come in these games too, you got the jitters. They've been playing since they were in 6th and 7th and 8th grade, but they come into these varsity games and they're a little anxious.
From the shotgun now on the here's the long pass and knocked down. Did he intercept? Did he lose it down? Did he make the interception? I think he did. Intercepted down deep on the right-hand side, and the young secondary, this is Mason Allred for Richfield, that made the interception for the Richfield Wildcats. Templars have thrown into coverage tonight, and did I say something about when you're kind of lost lots of players to injuries like Richfield, you got to make defensive stance, and they've done it tonight.
They've done a turnover on downs, and also this one was in a territory where Manti should have turned this one into points. And here we are, 12-0. Richfield holding their own defensively.
Ball will be at the 11-yard line here for the Richfield Wildcats in 2nd quarter action. When we look at field position, not halftime, it will really be illustrated. From the shotgun, from the 5-yard line. Quarterback rollout, being pursued from the backside, caught and brought down. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage. That time it was the backside pursuit. And he happens to be one of the leading tacklers in the state anyway, and that is Jordan Howe, the senior linebacker. Backside linebacker in that case, and chased the running back down far across the way for a loss of 3.
Yeah, as the play was developing, the running back was there waiting for his block to happen, completely unaware that from behind with his ears pinned back, here comes Jordan Howe for the tackle.
Calgard checks in. Well, no, he comes back out. They were going to bring him in, and then they pull him out for Richfield. 2nd down, 12 now for Richfield. Wide receiver hold away the near side. That's the wide side of the field for Richfield. Narrow side to the right. Quarterback in the shotgun at the 2-yard line. Griffin going to look to throw on the short one. Has it complete. And then comes a flag. We're going to have maybe a face mask, I think, on Manti. So Richfield will get a 1st down by virtue of the penalty. Now, the pass was good to the 15-yard line, about a 7-yard completion, and there was no reason for the Templars to get up that high on the tackle.
Yeah, they didn't need to try and defend that 1st down marker. There was 2 of them there to make the tackle. Good job by Richfield's line to hold the pocket, to make that. That was a good play call, too, to get that 1st down.
So the penalty on top of that's going to put the ball out to the 30-yard line. So Richfield's going to have their best field position situation right here now at the 30. Little room to feel a little more comfortable with now. They don't have their backs to the wall. 8:25 mark, 2nd quarter, 12-0 Manti. Griffin and hands it to a fullback dive, and that's going to have maybe a couple of hard-earned yards at the most on that one. Griffin did a good job of selling it as if he was going to run a quarterback keeper, and they get 3 yards on the carry.
Good job also of breaking out of the first tackle attempt that was a backer blitz by Manti. We're seeing a lot of that from them tonight.
2nd down, 7, 33-yard line. Wide side again to the left with Holdaway coming out to that. They'll go double wides to the right out of a tight end right. So that's strong right, short side for Richfield. Griffin spins, in trouble, being pursued, down he goes. He tried to spin out of that one, and he did, but then here just came more defenders for the Manti Templars out of that defensive front. And you've got Sheese, and then I think Also, Templars had another player kind of collapsing in there defensively. So third down, pickup of maybe a half yard. It's going to bring up third down and 12, still at about the 33-yard line for Richfield. So here's a key third down for them.
They have had some success in the air. Again, that take risk this time of year with how it's gone so far for them. I'd say go deep.
Rolling to the right-hand side. Griffin keeps being inside. Quarterback keeper back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. It'll force them into a punt situation here. That looked like it was just designed to be a quarterback keeper. They just don't have the blocking, the horses out there to make it happen. So the Templars bring on the punt return team, which puts Alder up front, and it might have been Butler that checks in there as well in that defensive front. They'll rest Sam Tiatia. Any chance they get to rest Sam Tiatia, there you go, get him so he can go full bore. People don't realize how much effort and energy it takes to play defensive line. That's why here's a high snap, but the punter gets it down and boots it out of there. High, short kick, takes a nice bounce, and will go down at the 42-yard line. That's where Manti will take over. That's why colleges now, some of them, when they can get enough depth, it was touched by a Richfield player at 45. They have 3 units of defensive linemen. That's how rigorous it is to play D-line.
It is, and to pull off 4 quarters. Now with Sam, he was playing offense at the beginning of the year. Then they moved him to defensive tackle, and he's shined there at North Sanpete, also at Delta. So he's found his sweet spot, and they rotate him out on that special teams.
Manti spread offense, double wides each way. Being motion to the near side, which is the wide side of the field, that Max Stevens. And run players into a lot of routes, looking for the short pass, got it complete. Setting down, and Jordan Howe fumbled the football. They're saying he was down at the 45-yard line. He'll be close to a first down. I think he'll be about half a yard shy, so we'll put it in the book as a 9-yard pass completion. That was just a button hook, and Derek Wright delivered on the money to Jordan Howe. So second and short for Manti at the 46 of Richfield.
Mason Allred on the stop there for Richfield.
Single setback with the quarterback under center this time for Manti. Good motions from right to left. He'll try to sweep and turn the corner and cannot do it. Good backside pursuit that time, and Good goes down for a loss of a couple. Jackson Thalman, the defender, to get over and make the tackle.
Jackson Thalman, wow, that was impressive for him to come in and from behind and pull Good down on that sweep. That's one of the things that's designed is that you got a fast runner like Good out there that if anybody's pursuing him from behind, they're not likely to get him. But Thalman was able to catch up to him and pull him down.
So third and long 2 for Manti after a loss of about a yard and a half. At the 47-yard line, some pressure on the right, running to the right-hand side, delivers short, has it complete for the first down. Nice release by the receiver to make the catch, get himself open. Took a big hit right there on the stick by Polson and Allred. The catch was made by Nate Lee for the first down.
You know, even though that's a first down, that was a textbook tackle for Mason Allred. Come in with your shoulder pads at waist height and decleat him, take his cleats off the ground.
So Templars get a first down. Bring motion from left to right. Long count for Manti here. First down, and they'll bring the motion again back across. And then counter it on the handoff up the middle to Max Stevens, and has a pickup of about 4 for Manti. A late flag coming in.
From way deep, too.
Yeah, one right down here and then one way deep on that. As the progress was to the 35-yard line, it was almost a 5-yard carry on that. See what they pull out of it. A penalty against Richfield.
Face mask on
there, yeah.
Richfield. And it was at the very end of the tackle.
Play.
So it was really had no effect on the play. But, again, if you get your hands on there and the refs see it, it will be called, and it gives excellent field position for Manti.
To the Richfield 20-yard line. 4:21 remaining in the second quarter. 12-0 Manti the lead. Really, Manti has not had sustained drives. Connor Meekum, the junior, out over the ball at center. Guard left side is Alder, and to the right side Doug Sheese. Speed back motions from right to left. And a little miscue again by the Templars and good penetration. Tried to get that thing and going to be a loss of a yard. So it'll bring up 2nd and 11.
You know, I mentioned in the first quarter trying to watch for Ben Tiati. I believe he's been struggling with his ankle this year, and he hasn't been in the game. And so that puts, I believe,
youngsters on the tackle spots on each side.
I believe Connor Meekum and Michael Alder are the only linemen that started at the beginning of the year offensively for Manti that are still out there.
Sheese now goes to the tackle right-hand side. And here's Wright looking to throw. Rolls out, spins back. And he's going to look, and he said, get down there. He can run and go now, but he's looking for a receiver in the end zone. And Jordan Howe cannot make the snag.
Hit him in the chest. I think he was also distracted by the sideline.
He did offensive pass interference, too, and the defensive back's complaining about it. Mason Allred saying he pushed off on me.
The separation was completely by a two-hand push. He did get away with that, and then it'll bring up 3rd down for Manti.
So another 3rd down set here for the Manti Templars. And they'll bring into the game Nate Lee again, who's getting more reps in that backfield tonight for the Templars. So 3rd down in 4-down territory for Manti at the 20.5-yard line. And Richfield's done a good job of keeping Derek Wright contained. The pass comes out and it's batted down. So he tried to do that look-in pass to the left-hand side. And Brenton Thompson and Michael Alder out on that left-hand side. Knocked down, brings up 4th down.
Jackson Thalman, he's a big, tall lineman there. He's a little bit slender for a defensive lineman.
Getting the job done, though.
The refs are trying to get each other in position because of it being a field goal attempt now.
The Templars with Jordan Lemus, junior kicker, left-footed in to attempt the field goal. And the kick is on the way. And he got it. Lemus on a 42-yard field goal for the Manti Templars. They lead 15-0. We'll be back in a minute.
Is there anything more beautiful than DQ soft serve? Smooth and creamy, the best kind of chili. Whether alone in a cone or making the sweet foundation for our famous blizzard treats, the DQ soft serve is made to make your taste buds go, whoa, that's good. Check it out for yourself at the Dairy Queen in Elsinore next to the Sunny Shopper. Take the I-70 exit and bam, you're there. DQ, this is fan food, not fast food. Check it out for yourself at the Dairy Queen in Elsinore next to the Sunny Shopper.
If you've ever seen something that is lopsided, whether it is a bike with one wheel smaller than the other, or you made something that had one part that was different than the other, then take a picture of it and enter the lopsided photo contest presented by Manti Telecommunications and Channel 3 Productions. There are great prizes for the top photos, so be creative. You can find something or make something lopsided and take a picture. For rules and to enter today, go to manti.com. Entries are due by September 30th, and voting will commence on Manti Telecommunications' Facebook page at the beginning of October. So start searching for lopsided things and enter today.
Kickoff, bouncing around, picked up. Did go out of bounds, or I think Templars got on it inbounds across the way around the 16. That was a crazy bouncer.
It was an unexpected high, shorter kick, and as it bounced, one of the Richfield players who was thinking about getting it then reached up, tagged it with his fingers, and so if it would have gone out of bounds, it wouldn't be a penalty on Manti. Either way, if he didn't touch it, it's fair game after it goes 10 yards.
That's why they're going to spot the ball at the 17. They haven't done that yet, and Richfield's ready to run their play. From their own 17 for Richfield, trailing here at 15-0. 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. And Manti's just scoring by the little increments here, 2 and 2 and 3, and had the one touchdown early. Wildcats looking out into the right flat, overthrown, almost picked off. Across the way by
Dotson
in that defensive halfback spot as that pass sailed a little bit on Griffin. Incompletion. A couple of others tonight. He intended to pass, got sacked. So he's 1 of 3 tonight in the passing department. Clock stopped at the 19-yard line on the incompletion.
Now that was the first pass that I've seen him throw that was not where his receiver should get it. So
yeah, got a little high on him there. Second down, under center, 2 running backs. Cross it over, hand it to the halfback. Templars read it, just can't run interior on Manti. So that'll be no gain. It'll bring up third down for Richfield. Defense has done well. They just don't have the offensive horses here to progress against Manti in that front pack. Doug Sheets was out for a couple of plays. He'll be back in. Michael Alder comes out as they alternate along that defensive front line. Brings up third down. It was lost almost of a half a yard. Third and long, stretchy, 10 yards to go at the 17. The Richfield Wildcats.
Last time they were in this third and long in their own, deep in their own territory, they chose to just do a run to get the best position for the punter, kind of see what you can get. So let's see if they go to the pass or a run on this one.
New Charter University will be presenting our halftime show coming up here for you in about 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Quarterback going to keep it, pull it out himself, play action in the backfield, goes to the sideline, driven out of bounds to pick up of about 3 or 4. And that will bring up a fourth down and punt situation for Richfield.
The strategy on that one is you're expecting the defense to be a little conservative to prevent that 10 yards or deeper pass. So hoping that you can get at least 5, maybe even the 10 yards on that run as they swap out to punt team and punt return.
Richfield is at 1 yard in net offense, -6 in rushing, 7 in passing. And the 3-step punt. Line driver goes over the head of Derek Wright, looks at it, says, nah, I think I'll just stay away from this. He might have heard somebody from the sideline. That got over his head. He started cheating up a little too much, and it was a good punt over his head, and he could not return it. Bodie Wells did a good job on punting that one out of there. And Manti will take over at their own 32-yard line and run a 2-minute drill here from the 32.
Wells has had a great night kicking tonight for Richfield.
Well, Templars offensively will be 68 yards away, going left to right, north to south, wide side of the field to be to the right. Coming up on our post game, and I'll tell you what, Dairy Queen defensive player of the game tonight. Thalman is a front runner at this point for the Richfield Wildcats. We'll also have the Herbst Place offensive player of the game for Richfield. Shotgun, rotate to the right-hand side, pursuit from the backhand side. Derek Wright going to throw up the field, has it complete to Max Stevens. Stevens breaks out of a tackle and gets to the 40-yard line. So Derek Wright on the run delivered that. He was being chased pretty heavily in there, but they couldn't get to him. That was Clay Turner that was putting on some pressure, but Wright delivers for the pass completion.
Yeah, and you had Jed Polson and Jake Luke on the tackles for Richfield.
28-yard pass completion for the first down. From the shotgun again, Wright rolls to the left-hand side. This time he's got some time. Throws it over the middle. He threads the needle to Max Stevens. And Stevens makes the snag, and he gets inside the 25 to the 23. Max Stevens is a much more confident pass catcher now than he was early in the season. And with Howe kind of being a decoy, then Stevens is able to run some of those underneath routes and get open.
You know, last year I saw a lot more deep successes from Manti, from Derek. I'm seeing him air them out, float them up a little bit. When he's making these passes that are direct bullets like that last one, those last two, they're great completions right on target.
Manti at the 24-yard line with 1:15 remaining. They'll switch Stevens to the right-hand side. He is the motion man. And Derek Wright looking to throw, incomplete to Stevenson. Just a little underthrown to Caden Stevenson. They'll stop the clock and bring up a second down and 10 at the 23-yard line. Plenty of time yet for Manti to work here.
Yeah, with second down and just over a minute. That's why we're seeing a lot more of this passing to stretch out and use the clock, because you can eat that up in 2 or 3 run plays easy.
From the 23, wide side of the field to the right for Manti. Right is under center. We've got a whistle blowing here. And timeout taken defensively by Richfield. We'll be back in a minute.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured that Sanpete Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal hometown touch. Intermountain Sanpete Valley Hospital, healing for life.
Larson's Ace Hardware is your helpful place for satisfying lots of different appetites. Appetites for hardware, plumbing and building materials, paint, tools, electrical, housewares and small appliances, sporting goods including ammo, lawn and garden, toys and seasonal items, and, well, hey, just stop by the store and check it out for yourself. Oh yeah, while you're in the store, satisfy the biggest hunger of all, the grumbling in your tummy at Munchies. Check it out at Larson's Ace Hardware, the helpful place in Richfield.
Out of the timeout, a minute 7 remaining, and Manti will have 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line. After the incomplete pass, Wright will go from the shotgun. Double wide out to the right, way out to the right. They're out there, and then they've got a kind of an H-back to the right-hand side. Try to get the handoff Stevens, and that doesn't go anywhere. A loss of a couple. Richfield again with some good penetration up front, and Austin Biggs, some of the experienced players for Richfield, are getting the job done tonight in that front line. Manti will take a timeout now with a 3rd down and 12 after the loss of 2 there, and we'll take a 1-minute timeout.
At Zions Bank, they haven't forgotten who keeps them in business. It's you. While Zions Bank has offices in 10 western states, you are still number 1. From checking and savings to business and personal loans, Zions Bank now offers its customers online banking services. Zions Bank is a leader in providing electronic banking services. If you haven't seen what Zions Bank has to offer you, stop in today. Zions Bank in Richfield, 55 West, 100 North, behind the post office.
An old friend was telling me he's tired of jumping on a piece of equipment just to have something come off in his hand. That won't happen when you have Barclay Mechanical on your repair team. Equipment repair or fabrication, yep, Barclay Mechanical can do. Metal or mechanical repair or fabrication, yep, you guessed it, can do at Barclay Mechanical in Manti. Call Barclay Mechanical 835-5084 or stop by 595 West 100 North in Manti. 835-5084, oh yeah, go get 'em, Manti Templars.
Manti Templars with another 3rd down. 55 seconds remaining here for Manti in this second quarter with the lead. And Derek Wright's going to roll left. Got lots of options. Says, give me a block. I can get the 1st down. I'll get out of bounds. I don't know if he got out of bounds. And then here comes the flag flying in. That could be an illegal block out there on the wide receiver of the Templars. You got to get around in front, and that's all he needed to do. He didn't really have to block. He just needed to run interference. And Derek Wright was going to get a 1st down easily. He got to the 10-yard line. If it's a blocking penalty on Manti, and it is because they're coming way back into the huddle. Well, that negates the big play. 10 seconds went off the clock. Mark off of the penalty from the 10 will put it back to the 20-yard line. So big rush of about 13 yards, and then the holding call. So now they have 3rd down and 7 for Manti. So I guess in the books we give him 3 yards rushing on that one because the penalty basically negates the play. So you give him some rush on the. These holding calls really throw a curve into stat books. So 3rd down at the 20-yard line for Manti, and 45 seconds remaining. So plenty of time for them in that regard. And they've got a timeout left if they need to. Overload the right-hand side. Derek Wright's going to roll to the right-hand side. Pursuit again coming from the backside. Looking into the end zone and cannot make the pass. He threw that one too wide for Jordan Howe. Goes incomplete, and it will bring up 4th down. And a good backside pursuit again. Clay Turner has been able to find a gap all night long and put pressure on Derek Wright so he can't plant and throw.
They're going to kick this for Manti for a field goal. That pressure came up the middle that made Derek roll right quicker than he wanted from Jake Luke, a blitzing backer. He paused for about 2 seconds and then came on a blitz.
So a 37-yard field goal attempt, but timeout is taken by Richfield with 38 seconds remaining. So Richfield timeout, and we'll be back in a minute.
Every night's like family night at Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place. When you want the best burger in town, you'll find it at Herb's Place. Got a birthday or special event? You'll find the facilities at Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place. If you want arcade games, you'll find them at Jorgensen Bowling Center. If you want a light show and cosmic bowling, hey, you'll find it at Jorgensen Bowling Center. Your family deserves the best. Your family or event is special to Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place, 980 South Coveview Road, Richfield.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesandDeMille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
Jorge Lemus to attempt another field goal for the Manti Templars, and another one that's good. If he had to go much further, he wouldn't get him over there, but he's got a 37-yarder to his credit now, along with the 42 earlier. So 2 field goals for Manti, and they're up here at 18-0 now with 2 of the Lemus field goals. And we'll be back with the kickoff in 1 minute.
So, wondering where to go after the game? How about Snowcap Lanes in Ephraim? Not only is the bowling great, but the food at Snowcap, one word, incredible! From the amazing line of mouth-watering burgers and sandwiches to the fabulous prime rib on Friday and Saturday nights. Then check Tuesday and Wednesdays as open bowling days. And now's the time to sign up for bowling leagues. There's openings for men, women, and mixed doubles. Hey, it's a great way to meet people and make new friends. The place for fun and food. The Snowcap Lanes on South Main and Ephraim.
This is Mark of Risk Managers in Ephraim. It's hard to believe that Risk Managers has been serving all of your insurance needs for over 60 years, and we will be here in the future to take care of your auto, home, business, farm, health, and life insurance. Check first with us for very competitive, affordable rates and great customer service. For a quote and more information, contact Mark, Nate, or Rick at Risk Managers, 110 North Main in Ephraim. Call 283-4685.
Kickoff fielded in the end zone, comes out to the 20-yard line for the Richfield Wildcats with 32 seconds remaining. And Manti chipping away at this kind of inning by inning, 2 points here and 2 there, 3 there. Just like as Russ pointed out, 11 and now 14 points of the 18 scored basically by the offense, but they have not put together a sustained drive, lengthy one, and put touchdown on at the end of it. So credit some Richfield defense there.
Excellent job by Richfield. I was giggling as Manti had 10 points because that's not how you usually get 10 is 8 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And when they had 12, I was giggling again. That's not usually how you get 12 points on the board.
From the 20-yard line for the Wildcats, Griffin under center. Makes the pitch. They're going to try the halfback pass, sideline, and it's underthrown, and it's picked off by Derek Wright. And his 7th of the season on the pick, looking for some room to go. Stutter steps, comes back inside, and then goes down at the 26-yard line. If the Templars have a timeout to burn, they may use it here. If I'd have been, Wright wasn't thinking clock, and if he'd have been thinking clock, he would have just turned on the burners and come to the sideline, run out of bounds.
Or even just taking a slide straight forward as much as he can. Because where it's a turnover, he can slide, and the clock won't get going. So you got to do some thinking in those scenarios because when you're a normal ball carrier, like you say.
He ate off probably 4 seconds doing the do-si-do out there.
Yep, because the only way to stop the clock when you're offense, of course, is incomplete pass and out of bounds. In that regard, a slide would have stopped it.
Halfback option pass that was intercepted. So Manti now at the 27-yard line. Here comes a flag flying real quickly here in the offensive backfield.
Kind of interesting, too, because they blew it dead, and he waited about 2-3 seconds, illegal procedure.
So from the 27, mark it off back to the 32 now for Manti. At the Richfield 32, at 15 seconds on the clock, the ball at the fading a little bit to the right-hand side, but between the hashes here. They want time back on the clock, probably back to 18. Is that what they're wanting?
18 is where
they're motioning almost like
starting.
They want 20 on there, but 18 is where the clock was before the play started, so they shouldn't go to 20. There we go at 18. Good. Okay.
I think the ref was either counting heads or something there. That's what took him a second to blow the whistle and throw the flag, which actually
maybe Manti did have too many players on the field,
yeah,
or they didn't make an exchange quick enough, which would have been interesting on first down. You're supposed to have your bunch out there anyway. So 1st and 15 for Manti, and they're not really sure what they're doing. They're overloading left-hand side, but who's supposed to be where on those 3 receivers? They're not quite certain on it. Derek Wright rolls to the left, slips, steps back to the right-hand side, and brought down from behind at the 35. So the tackle by Jackson Thalman again, and the Templars burn a timeout at the 35 after the loss there. We'll take a 30-second break.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, high school football season. And this year, Gunnison Valley Hospital is pleased to be the official sponsor of the Manti High Templars. But you don't have to be a Templar to be in good hands at Gunnison Valley Hospital. They've been treating local athletes for more than 75 years. Whether it's a routine visit or a sports-related injury, Gunnison Valley Hospital doctors and physicians are standing by to assist high school athletes throughout the region. Cutting-edge technology, hometown convenience. That's Gunnison Valley Hospital.
Manti will have out of the timeout a second down, and first down is inconsequential at this point. 35-yard line. That would be out of distance for Jorge Lemus, as well as he's kicked. That's not in his range, that far away.
He's putting a spin on it when he kicks those. I think if he can get his foot more directly behind the ball instead of under it, causing a high kick and a spin on those, he may end up getting the distance, but he needs to work on technique.
He's a junior. Now from the shotgun here, and Richfield's going to send everything but the house on the blitz. And Derek Wright running to the right-hand side, throws the pass up, incomplete. Stops the clock with 4 seconds remaining. If he'd have had another second or two, and Wright is slow to get up, he got hammered from the backside. He was trying to get it in the vicinity of a release receiver underneath, and he was open, but Wright just didn't have a chance to really throw it and get it out there with any emphasis, so it goes incomplete to Tanner Lefevre. And a timeout by Manti with 4 seconds remaining. It's their last one. They didn't have to because the clock stopped on the incompletion, but they want to talk about the play here, realizing you probably only get one more. We'll keep it right here, tell you about coming up on our post game. Snowcap Lane's player of the ball game. Hamburger, fries, and 2 games of bowling for the Manti Templar player of the game. Gather your friends and compete in Snowcap's bowling leagues. 283-4522. For Ridgefield, our Jorgensen Lane Herb's Place player of the game gets a free meal at Herb's Place. And then for the Dairy Queen defensive player of the game, the free meal. Make any occasion special or just chill and grill at DQ in Elsinore. And the dine out delicious food at Herb's Place there at Jorgensen Lanes. Halftime show coming up, presented by New Charter University. We'll have you a lot of things at halftime on our quick hits, the 3 R's, the review, the recap, and the rehash, including a look at some scores. All a part of what we've got coming up on the halftime show. Ball at the 35 for Manti. And a third down. Probably won't be a fourth down one here. And if you're Richfield, you take care of the deep receivers, and we've got the play blown dead. Templars have had a lot. Keep in mind, they've got a couple of new players playing the offensive line, but they've had, and I think they're running a few sets that are not typical for their wide receivers. So another 5-yard mark off against Manti for procedure. And back to the 40-yard line now. Going to run the same play. And this is very unconventional because you've got a tackle coming out and lining up in a spread set. This is a defensive tackle. I mean an offensive tackle.
And he's not an eligible lineman due to his number. He's also covered by the receiver.
And Thalman comes over to block on him. And they've got the isolation. Then Thalman looking to release. And then Derek Wright biffs it, tries to plant and go in the backfield. He'll go down for a sack of a minus 15 in the offensive set. So 15 off the rushing yardage for Manti. And that's the end of the half. 18-0, Manti the lead. We'll be back with our New Charter University halftime show in 3 minutes.
Are you ready for a fiesta? It's always fiesta time with Mexican food that you crave at Los Amigos. Try the Mexican steak or one of my favorites, their fajitas or chimichangas. They have smothered burritos and enchiladas, non-alcoholic drinks, and kids' meals. They use homemade flour tortillas, and every table gets chips and the secret salsa. And check out their Friday specials. It's fiesta time at Los Amigos, 3rd East and 700 South in Ephraim, right behind the movie theaters.
You can do it. Begin your journey and enroll today at the New Charter University, a university with flexible pacing, a flat rate per course, with principles of competency-based education so you benefit from your years of experience, along with a fair and experienced faculty and staff who are ready to help you succeed. So begin your journey. A new day, a new you, New Charter University, with real degrees for real life. Enroll at new.edu or call 801-883-8336.
Zions Bank wishes the Manti High School Templars a winning season this year. And as community bankers, employees at Zions Bank's two convenient locations in Manti and Ephraim share your common values: commitment to family, hard work, and an appreciation for our pioneering heritage. They offer friendly personal banking services, a variety of products to meet your everyday needs, and local decision making. Discover why at Zions Bank we haven't forgotten who keeps us in business. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Mountain Land Supply of Richfield is the Central Utah leader in plumbing, waterworks, turf, and ag irrigation. Mountain Land Supply features an entire line of Rainbird sprinklers and systems for your yard or commercial property, and backs it up with an extremely knowledgeable staff that cares about the local community because they live here. Visit them at 2104 South Red Hills Drive in Richfield, or call for a showroom appointment 435-896-9606. Mountain Land Supply is proud to sponsor high school sports and wishes the teams, coaches, and players success.
The living room. It's a great place to watch TV. Just like your backyard, break time at the office, or while on the go. Now you can watch TV everywhere. Stream your favorite shows or live TV from many channels in your cable package on any computer, tablet, or smartphone. It's all included with CentraCom cable TV service for no extra cost. Sign up to watch TV everywhere today. Call or visit CentraCom.com to learn more.
AmeriGas Propane is America's #1 propane supplier. Why? Because AmeriGas Propane of Central Utah is the most reliable, safest, and responsive propane service. Your AmeriGas drivers go the extra mile to offer service you can rely on. AmeriGas Propane of Richfield features a local staff that serves you 24/7. Don't put a price on your family safety. Call today, 435-896-5071, 896-5071. It's never too late to save on propane. Lock in your price and ask about their monthly payment program. Go to AmeriGas.com.
Welcome to our halftime show presented by New Charter University here in Manti. The Manti Templars, the Richfield Wildcats, score 18-0 Manti. It's our halftime quick hits, the 3 R's. First off, let's go to our scoring drive recap here and look at the scoring. Manti early on, right after a fumble by Richfield in the first possession of the ball game, Manti took over the ball at the Richfield 3. Max Stevens pushed it in there with 11:13 remaining. And a 2-point conversion made it 8-0 in favor of Manti. And then Richfield gave up a couple of safeties, one of them at the 2:12 mark in the first quarter, another one at the 11:55 mark in the second quarter. And that came after the Manti scoring and then the field goal. So you had Manti leading at 12-0 before they had the Lemus field goal at 3:12 remaining. And that made it 15-0, and then with 32 seconds remaining, another field goal made it, I don't think I had my time. Yeah, I do have my time on that one. 18-0 in favor of Manti. And a couple of safeties, so given up, a fumble and an interception by Richfield. A couple of turnovers here in this first half of play for Richfield. So that is our scoring drive recap. The only one that was really much of a drive for Manti was taking over at their own 45, getting that field goal from Lemus, and their own 32 then. And they went on about a 5-play drive on that one to get the field goal. Manti did some pass attack early in that one. And then Richfield tightened up on the pass defense. Richfield has been impressive tonight defensively. They just don't have the horses offensively to be able to compete against Manti here in that department. So let's look at our scoring recap tonight, halftime on the quick hits, presented by New Charter University. They've got flat rate per course pricing, keeps the cost down, and you graduate with no debt. We'll take another 3-minute break on a halftime show.
Providing full title service in the area for over 60 years now. D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield has been serving the area since 1946. Merrill Ogden and his qualified staff can handle all document preparation, title searches, and title insurance. When your financial transactions require title work, request D-Land Title of Manti or Richfield. With over 60 years of service, call or visit D-Land Title for a no-obligation consultation on your title work. That's D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield.
You've heard for years that Gunnison Market is your hometown grocer. Now Gunnison Market offers you a hometown pharmacist. Come experience friendly hometown service from Sean Sorensen at Gunnison Market Pharmacy. Sean grew up in Gunnison and offers competitive prices, expert advice, and convenient hours, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Explore the loyalty card benefits, which gives you a free gift card for every 10 prescriptions filled. Call 528-7555 or visit Gunnison Market Pharmacy.
New Holland's T7 Series tractors from Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora deliver more power but lower your operating costs. Talk about a great combination. These 100 to 195 PTO horsepower tractors feature engines with EcoBlue SCR engine technology. They breathe better for more complete combustion and deliver cleaner power, increased torque, and enhanced fuel economy. Stop by Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora and learn more about the T7 Series tractors from New Holland.
As temperatures become cooler outside, insects will be looking for someplace warmer to live, like inside your home. Spiders, ants, earwigs, and other bugs will take refuge in your kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, and even closets. To protect your home, call EcoLife for a professional pest control barrier. EcoLife applies a smell-free, safe-for-the-environment product to ensure you and your family are bug-free. All services are guaranteed. To schedule EcoLife to rid your home of bugs, call 283-6002. EcoLife is a proud supporter of Central Utah High School sports.
You know that Sevier Valley Medical Center provides our communities with high-quality care through advanced technology with a hometown touch. What you may not know about are the wide variety of services that we provide, allowing you to stay close to home. Our on-site specialty services include orthopedics, ENT, general surgery, podiatry, and internal medicine, all available full-time, allowing you to utilize them when it's convenient for you, not just a few days each month. That's Intermountain Sevier Valley Medical Center, healing for life.
At Cache Valley Bank, we have an app for that. Hi, this is Shayna, and our new Cache Valley Bank app will let you view your accounts on the go. You'll also be able to search for branches or ATMs near you, transfer funds, view recent activity, and deposit checks, all with the touch of a button. And our checking accounts offer free debit cards, lower rates than our competitors, and no minimum balance. So when you check your balance on that new Cache Valley Bank app, all you'll see is green. Stop by today and meet our friendly staff in Ephraim, Mount Pleasant, and Fairview. Cache Valley Bank, a tradition of helping, member FDIC.
Our halftime show presented by New Charter University. They have a flat rate per course pricing and give you the freedom to study whenever you wish and wherever you wish with real degrees for real life. Enroll at new.edu. That's part of our quick hits here at halftime. Let's take a look at some stats. Bob Ballman down on the sideline. And Manti with about 145, and I'm rounding up a bit, for total yardage, 85 passing, at about 59 or 60 in rushing, except there was a sack towards the end there. So not quite that much on the total yardage. And Richfield, I've been a little generous. I give them 2 yards in total net offense for tonight. They're just not happening in the offensive department for the Richfield Wildcats. Let's take a look here now at our look at the big play rehash. And basically, biggest plays might have been 2 field goals tonight. Good ones for the Manti Templars, Russ.
Big plays putting points on the board for the Templars there. Like you say, field goals. They haven't done that much this year. It's good to get their kicker some good experience.
Max Stevens did get a 29-yard pass reception, so that would qualify, I think, as a big play.
Biggest highlight I'd say for Richfield is a 4-down stop in their territory to stop Manti from scoring in the first quarter.
Yeah, their big play rehash out is that defensive
turnover on
pursuit.
downs.
And we talked about it in pregame when we've gone, if you're Richfield and shorthanded and lost players you have, you just got to come out and do what you can defensively. And my hat's off to them because they have done a pretty darn good job tonight defensively against Manti here. It's 18-0 at halftime with Manti leading the Richfield Wildcats. We've got more of our quick hits at halftime coming up here. Our halftime show presented by New Charter University, and we'll be back with some scores in a bit.
Is there anything more beautiful than DQ soft serve? Smooth and creamy, the best kind of chili. Whether alone in a cone or making the sweet foundation for our famous blizzard treats, the DQ soft serve is made to make your taste buds go, whoa, that's good. Check it out for yourself at the Dairy Queen in Elsinore next to the Sunny Shopper. Take the I-70 exit and bam, you're there. DQ, this is fan food, not fast food. Check it out for yourself at the Dairy Queen in Elsinore next to the Sunny Shopper.
If you've ever seen something that is lopsided, whether it is a bike with one wheel smaller than the other, or you made something that had one part that was different than the other, then take a picture of it and enter the lopsided photo contest presented by Manti Telecommunications and Channel 3 Productions. There are great prizes for the top photos, so be creative. You can find something or make something lopsided and take a picture. For rules and to enter today, go to manti.com. Entries are due by September 30th, and voting will commence on Manti Telecommunications' Facebook page at the beginning of October. So start searching for lopsided things and enter today.
Riverstone Contractors is your plumbing source for Sevier County. Riverstone can fix leaking pipes, replace water heaters, fix and replace faucets, disposals, water softeners, and toilets, along with tubs, showers, and grab bars for your bathroom. Riverstone does plumbing for new construction and remodels. They also take care of your heating and air conditioning needs with central air, swamp coolers, gas furnaces, and sheet metal ducts. For the best plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service, call Riverstone Contractors at 435-896-6264. That's 896-6264.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured that Sanpete Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal, hometown touch. Intermountain Sanpete Valley Hospital, healing for life.
Larson's Ace Hardware is your helpful place for satisfying lots of different appetites. Appetites for hardware, plumbing and building materials, paint, tools, electrical, housewares and small appliances, sporting goods including ammo, lawn and garden, toys and seasonal items, and, well, hey, just stop by the store and check it out for yourself. Oh yeah, while you're in the store, satisfy the biggest hunger of all, the grumbling in your tummy at Munchies. Check it out at Larson's Ace Hardware, the helpful place in Richfield.
Bargain roofing job failing and your ceiling is damaged? Is your siding looking really shabby? Or you just want a new look? For as little as $150 per month, Clean Cut Roofing and Siding will update your home using 100% American-made products. That's right, all made right here in the great USA. And hey, take 48 to 120 months to pay. Fit it into your budget. Call Clean Cut Roofing and Siding for a free consultation, 435-427-3205. Or check them out on Facebook. Clean Cut Roofing and Siding. Peace of mind every time.
New Charter University presenting our halftime show here in Manti. 18-0 Manti over Richfield at halftime. New Charter University, flexible pricing so you can progress and pacing as well at the speed at which you're comfortable with at New Charter. Get details at new.edu. Let's take a look at some scores. 18-0 this one here. We've also got North Sevier leading South Sevier at halftime 14-7. Russ has got a few other scores. I'll mention Beaver leading San Juan, and this is not easy to be doing this in San Juan. 20-7 Beaver, and the winner there's going to be by far the front runner and maybe the one that will try to threaten South Summit for the state title in 2A.
Yeah, and speaking of South Summit, they lead Millard 37-3 at the half. Here at Manti is 18, Richfield 0. Kanab leads Parowan 36-6 in the second quarter. And North Sevier 14, South Sevier 7 at the half.
All right, those are some of the scores to pass along. Oh, we had a Canview. They were leading over Delta pretty comfortably.
24-16.
8-point spread. So maybe not so comfortable on that one. Crazy region, this 3A South. And both teams back on the field. We'll have kickoff coming up. We'll be back here after this commercial break on the New Charter University halftime show.
At Zions Bank, they haven't forgotten who keeps them in business. It's you. While Zions Bank has offices in 10 western states, you are still number one. From checking and savings to business and personal loans, Zions Bank now offers its customers online banking services. Zions Bank is a leader in providing electronic banking services. If you haven't seen what Zions Bank has to offer you, stop in today. Zions Bank at Richfield, 55 West, 100 North, behind the post office.
An old friend was telling me he's tired of jumping on a piece of equipment just to have something come off in his hand. That won't happen when you have Barclay Mechanical on your repair team. Equipment repair or fabrication, yep, Barclay Mechanical can do. Metal or mechanical repair or fabrication, yep, you guessed it, can do at Barclay Mechanical in Manti. Call Barclay Mechanical 835-5084 or stop by 595 West 100 North in Manti. 835-5084, oh yeah, go get them, Manti Templars.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking in Salina has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking's Big Blue trucks are recognizable throughout the Intermountain West, hauling products that keep this country running. Barney Trucking is honored to be a part of Central Utah and supports our local schools and community. When you're out on the roads, remember to drive safely. Barney Trucking of Salina, proud to support the high school teams this season.
Every night's like family night at Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place. When you want the best burger in town, you'll find it at Herb's Place. Got a birthday or special event? You'll find the facilities at Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place. If you want arcade games, you'll find them at Jorgensen Bowling Center. If you want a light show and cosmic bowling, hey, you'll find it at Jorgensen Bowling Center. Your family deserves the best. Your family or event is special to Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place, 980 South Coveview Road, Richfield.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesanddemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals. So, wondering where to go after the game? How about Snowcap Lanes in Ephraim? Not only is the bowling great, but the food at Snowcap, one word, incredible! From the amazing line of mouth-watering burgers and sandwiches to the fabulous prime rib on Friday and Saturday nights. Then check Tuesday and Wednesdays as open bowling days. And now's the time to sign up for bowling leagues. There's openings for men, women, and mixed doubles. Hey, it's a great way to meet people and make new friends. The place for fun and food. The Snowcap Lanes on South Main and Ephraim.
This halftime show in Manti with Larry Masco, Russ Olson, Wendy Olson, and on the field, Bob Ballman. And New Charter University presenting our halftime program. Enroll at new.edu, and you get a lot more details there. Your degree, your way, a school designed for you at New Charter University. A lot of more flexibility now. You've got so many options where you do not have to do the conventional kind of thing, paying for all that housing and all of those things at a campus. And a lot of options for you. Take it. Snow College, look at maybe taking some of those credits and getting it going for you. Halftime, Kanab 44, Parowan 6, passing that halftime score along. And we're ready to go for second half here. 18-0. Manti the lead, and Manti will be returning the kick, receiving the kick to start the second half of play. Again, kudos to how this Richfield defense has played here in this ball game, holding this score down. High, short kick fielded at the 17, 25. Looking for the corner at the 30, and does the corner, and good, and goes out of bounds. You can tell temperature's getting a little cooler. We've seen a lot of slipping going on tonight. Players have got to learn now, you got to keep your weight up over your feet. You can't be doing a lot of that lean now because your feet will go right out from under you.
Yeah, this seasonally the ground has more moisture content, even if it hasn't rained for a while.
These are irrigated fields. So.
Yeah, irrigated fields will add to that. Now, one of the things I noticed on that kickoff, too, is number 11, Bodie Wells, is kicking it, but he's not staying back as safety. He's coming in as a headhunter, so I'm watching to see who's playing safety on that for Richfield on the next one.
From the 34-yard line from the shotgun handoff, and it's going to be a yard, and that's about all. And a good penetration up front for the Richfield Wildcats, giving credit right there to Wyatt Peterson, big D lineman, a junior for Richfield. So a pickup of a yard, and that's if you stretch it for Manti there, who's only rushed for about 35, 36 yards after you took off that sack towards the end of the first half.
Mitch Harris had him by the ankles as on that tackle, too.
Second down and 9, brings speed back in motion and hand it off, and nowhere to go, and that is once again Bodie Wells, the sophomore coming through. This boy stepping up big time. And a sack there, well, a loss there on the play of about 7 yards on the speed sweep.
That was at the deepest point that sweep was going to go. Excellent job by Bodie Wells.
So third down at the 29-yard line for Manti after the loss there of about 6 to 7 yard loss.
Quite often we talk about the beginning of a second half when things haven't gone well in a half, but you still have not too far of a spread. The tone is set by this first drive.
Wright rolls to the right-hand side, has plenty of time, delivers the pass. Look along, got a receiver open. Ball tipped defensively. Ball a little underthrown, and recovering is Mason Allred to knock that down. Allred, a junior, and I've been impressed with what I've seen out of the Richfield defensive backs. So even when they got beat there, they've done a good job of recovering. The open receiver down there was Nate Lee.
Nate Lee was, he slowed up just a bit to wait for that pass. Excellent job by Mason Allred. Mason Allred doesn't have the height advantage in this case, and we keep calling his name out on pass coverage. He's doing an excellent job tonight.
So it's a 4th down and punt situation for the Manti Templars. Low snap and a rugby-style kick that touches down inside the 30-yard line at the 29.5. Richfield's going to have one of their better field position opportunities here at the 34-yard line, because that's where it touched a Manti Templar on his back heel.
That's one of the things of the strategy of the rugby punt is you hold it longer to allow your defenders to get down the field.
Got down there too quick that time, I guess, huh?
Well, and that one that he put inside the 10 in the first half, he had his defenders 5 yards deeper than it, guarding it to keep it from going into the end zone. So it gives them plenty of time. The penetration to try and affect the punter is the biggest thing on that.
Well, Richfield tried to go something offensively, and they're short a man. They don't even have all their running backs in there. They got to get a running back in. And now he'll go out to a wide receiver, quarterback under center. They get all the receivers in there from the 34-yard line. Long count. Griffin makes the pitch to the outside, turned in. It's going to be a loss on the play. Clear back to the 25-yard line.
I believe it was Nate Lee. You know, and he's played cornerback. We mentioned Dodson is now playing cornerback, and Nate Lee playing that inside linebacker, defensive back. He really pinned in that corner and causing about an 8-yard loss for Richfield on that play.
So the -8.
It looks the same as what Manti's drive did in starting that.
These are both going wrong direction. So 2nd down at the 26-yard line after the loss of 8. Double wides to the left side. McKay Lewis and Mason Allred, a pair of juniors for Richfield. 2nd and long, shotgun set. Griffin pulls it down, looks pass in, tipped into the air, incomplete. Derek Wright, if he'd have had his head turned the other way, would have had another pick. That came right in behind him. It was tipped in the air by a lead linebacker for Manti.
Tristan Barrett on the tip. He did kind of a blitz, a delayed blitz. It was a quicker pass, so he got his hands up, tipped it. Derek Wright was on a man coverage, and his man was cutting across the middle. Derek was on the man coverage because of the blitz, and he was sprinting to try and cover somebody coming from the far side. That's why he wasn't looking.
3rd down at the 30. Handoff, dive play, driven back. Jordan Howe. That's going to be a gain of about a yard to bring up a 4th down.
Barrett, Howe, and also Ben Rozier in there for Manti on the tackle, just plugging that up.
I'll give him 2 yards for that. And a punt situation here for Richfield at the 37-yard line. So the punter back at the Bodie Wells, the 22. Good snap, going to run it to the right-hand side and boot it out of there. Oh, dandy punt, wow. Got good height on it, fielded at the 25. And Derek Wright looks for a block, comes to the outside, turns the corner at the 30, 35, and then brought down there at the 36-yard line. And Manti Templars calling for a
face mask because Derek's helmet came up a little dislodged, like it'd been tugged on. But if the hand was across the chest, I couldn't tell.
That's what I'm thinking it was.
And the elbow pushes the face mask up. The other thing that the crowd immediately reacts to is it could be a horse collar in their eyes.
On that back side.
But he reached to the front.
Yeah, if the fingers don't go down inside it, then it's not the horse collar. 1st and 10, 37. Manti has not generated much tonight offensively. Counter it off. And you get a couple of yards, and that's all. And staying home defensively is Jake Luke, another of that pack of juniors for the Richfield Wildcats. Disciplined, staying in their lanes tonight, this Richfield Wildcat bunch. I'm assuming they spent a lot of time defensively this week in practice, just on execution and staying in your place. And they've done a good job.
Doing an excellent job. Not a whole lot of offense at all this half so far.
Pickup of almost 2, second down, long 8. And right into the pocket. Got a receiver out in the left flat, but he's looking long instead. And he's going to roll to the right-hand side and then tuck it and spin onside, and he'll lost a couple of yards. He had a receiver early on out to his left, and then that was going to become too risky of a throw as the defense end was allowed to kind of get over there. And that says something about the secondary coverage right there, because Templars did have 3 receivers out.
Yeah, one of the worst things you can do is try and force that throw. It's better to take the loss on the yardage than to just air it out, especially how well Richfield has been covering the pass.
Yeah. So 3rd down and 12 after the loss of 4. Sheese will be the tackle on the right-hand side. Sometimes they'll move him around at various spots. And Derek Wright receives the snap. It's a screen pass off to the left. And it's Max Stevens, but it's only going to be about to the 42-yard line. So that will be a gain of about 7 and bring up 4th down. Kind of an isolation. They were hoping Stevens could get isolated and break that up the field.
Well, and the other thing, there's several points I have on that one. The ref was signaling tipped. Somebody coming through quick from Richfield got their hand on the ball. Max Stevens still pulled it down. He had to stay behind the line of scrimmage to catch that because his lineman had gone more than 5 yards downfield. And if he had advanced past the line of scrimmage, they would have gotten illegal receivers downfield. So even at that, Manti only, what, a 6-yard gain on that 7?
7, yeah. 6.5, 7. So Manti with a 4th down and punting situation. And got it back to Derek Wright, boots it out of there, and received, and then fumbled, and then covered up by Richfield at the 29-yard line. And on the return there was Matt Griffin. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 29 for Richfield. We're still at 18-0 at the 6.5-minute mark.
We're just working the same spots on the field.
We are going to wear it out there, aren't they? At least one more game here, and depending on the playoff situation, maybe 2 more games here. Manti will take next week off. Richfield has Carbon in their sights for next week, if I remember right.
Is that a Wednesday game for them?
That's usually a Wednesday matchup, yep, at Carbon. So 1st and 10 from the 29. And quarterback hands off, right-hand side. We've got a gain of about 3 to 4 yards. Kind of a broken play, jammed into the middle and then skirted out to the right.
Jake Luke on the carry.
Positive yardage of 3 yards on that one.
And boy, did he come forward with a lot of force. He got 3 yards from when he first hit the defender.
So 2nd and 7. Templars switching some linebackers in and out. Wide side of the field to the left as Richfield goes right to left. Here in this 3rd quarter, trailing 18-0. In the slot, Bodie Wells left, inside of Mason Allred. And on the run around to the left-hand side, Griffin pulls it out. He's going to have the 1st down and then turns the corner and driven out of bounds. Outside Manti territory. First time Richfield's been in Manti territory tonight.
Manti's outside linebackers. You had Nate Lee on the far side, Jordan Howe on the closer side. Both of them with their ears pinned back on blitzes. They both cut it tight, and Jordan Howe got caught on the inside of that, opening up a good run for Richfield.
A 19, 20-yard run for a 1st down for Richfield and puts him in positive net rush yardage now at the 47.5-yard line of Manti. Wide side again to the right with double wide outs there, double wides each way. And they're going to try to run. I don't know what they're going to try to run, but Griffin's in trouble, and down he goes for a big sack back at the 40. I thought they were going to try to run an end around, and Manti just totally bottled it up. And Sam Tiatia amongst those that penetrated and got back into the backfield.
Sam Tiatia and then Doug Sheese. Of course, he spun out of the running runner. Was it Matt?
It was Griffin. It was Griffin.
Okay,
yeah,
so he
quarterback.
handed it off. He spun out of it and it actually ended up losing more yardage as Jordan Howe finished it off with another tackle.
-10 brings up 2nd down and 20 from the 41-yard line. That's an approximation, by the way, in the yardage there. Long ways to go. From the shotgun, Griffin got some pressure again, and he's going to go down. Blitz came from the outside.
Both
Caden
sides.
Stevenson, yeah, both sides, so he's pinned in. He had nowhere to go. And then coming in, Jordan Howe again. And so you've got him putting the hammer down.
And that's the trade-off. You know, when Manti gave up that big yardage, Richfield making that 1st down, sometimes those blitzes don't pay off for you, but right now Manti's really making them pay with that.
So the ball to the 35 and 3rd and long for Richfield now. 4 minutes, 19 seconds remaining, third period. From the 35 for the Wildcats.
Tristan Barrett on the sideline as Caden Stevenson playing middle backer.
Under center this time for Griffin. Quick pass to the inside. Catch is made. Did he hold on? Turn around, ref. That was a McKay Lewis. He really got banged, but he held on for the reception. It brings up 4th down. He got it out to the 42.
Derek Wright delivering the hit there as coming from behind to make the tackle.
What'd that get for net yardage on pass there?
7 yards.
7 yards, yeah.
And it was McKay Lewis that pulled that one in.
So 4th, still very long. Richfield, they had about 30 to go. High snap back, but Wells will be able to get it out. And it goes to the right-hand side and out of bounds. So referees will have to do a little geometry here to line this one up for Manti. In this third quarter coming up, our post-game show will be presented by Sunrise Engineering, promoting athletic and academic excellence. Coming up tomorrow, Snow College football on KMTI. And on KSVC FM, it'll be BYU coverage. On our KMTI coverage tomorrow, 11:30 for Snow Badger ball. Tonight's game also on CentraCom. So at the 43, Snow game on tomorrow as well on CentraCom.
Barrett's nodding his head yes on that.
Yep. So Manti at their own 43-yard line after the punt by the Richfield Wildcats. Richfield is actually now in positive net because of the passing game. Handoff, inside trap. They go to the right-hand side, get about 5 or 6 yards on it. On the carry. Ben Tia, by the way, is in the offensive line right now for Manti. And the pickup there of about 7 on the carry was at Max Stevens, I think.
Max Stevens, a little bit struggle on the exchange, quarterback to Max Stevens. Just a little bit of slowing it down, too, to secure the ball. They held on to it and got a positive yardage, though.
Long 6 to the 49.5-yard line. Rather tight formation, handed off on the inside trap and well bottled up. Got a pickup of a couple of yards on the carry by Nate Lee, who's seeing a little more action tonight offensively for Manti. He's able to get some forward surge for 2 yards, 2.5. So it'll be 3rd and a long yard for Manti at the Richfield 49-yard line. But Manti, who's usually rushing for well over 175, 200 yards, they are under 50 yards in rushing tonight.
This is the first short 3rd down I've seen tonight.
For Manti at the Richfield 49. Handed off, and it's Max Stevens for the first down easily as he gets to the 40-yard lines.
Max Stevens going off of the corner there with, I believe it was Sheese on the tackle, opening up the hole with Ben Tia playing. Is he playing the guard on this side? Looks like it.
Yeah, probably that's that strong side offensive set there. So Manti at the 40-yard line of Richfield after the 9-yard gain in the first down. Tight formation, handoff left-hand side, surging left, pickup of close to 5 yards. That carry is by Brant Stevens off the left tackle left. So it will give Manti the ball at the 35.5, 36-yard line after pickup of almost 4.5.
Wyatt Peterson was the first Wildcat to meet him there. Manti starting to, of course, consume time off of the clock, go on the ground a lot more.
Wide side of the field to the right, double receivers there. Under center with back split, handoff right-hand side. Max Stevens gets another 3-4 yards. Manti's just kind of right now going interior run, get 3 and 4 yards at a pop. Like you say, run a lot of time off the clock.
And then
another 4-yard gain there.
To add to the strong side at the line, they do have Jordan Howe line up that time on as a tight end.
Tight end, yep.
Just there to pound it forward, open up a big gap.
Post-game, we'll name our players of the game. Snowcap Lanes player of the game for Manti, dine in and their delicious menu for lunch or dinner. Snowcap Lanes, Ephraim. So the Templars on a 3rd and 2, which Richfield has given Templars some problems tonight, and the Templars will go to the outside to Jordan Howe, has the first down. Just right out in the flood zone to the right-hand side. Just enough to be a forward pass, not a lateral, and they get it to Howe for the first down.
Yeah, it's
to 25. So good pickup on that pass.
You know, and that's one where Richfield's not expecting the quick pass. They're just seeing run, and then throw it out to Jordan Howdow, get the first down, and keep this drive rolling.
How many yards was that when did Wendy put in the book there?
Yeah, she put 6
Okay,
yards
6,
on that.
I was thinking 6 or 7. Handoff, right-hand side. Again, Max Stevens spinning and working, and you got a rugby pile up after a pickup of about 3 or 4 at the 23-yard line. So give him a pickup of 2.5 yards. Almost 3. They're going to give him 3 from the 26 to the 23-yard line.
Clay Turner there on the tackle as the end of the third quarter.
So Richfield holds Manti scoreless in the third period. We're at 18-0, back with fourth quarter action in 1 minute.
This is Mark of Risk Managers in Ephraim. It's hard to believe that Risk Managers has been serving all of your insurance needs for over 60 years, and we will be here in the future to take care of your auto, home, business, farm, health, and life insurance. Check first with us for very competitive, affordable rates and great customer service. For a quote and more information, contact Mark, Nate, or Rick at Risk Managers, 110 North Main in Ephraim. Call 283-4685.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, high school football season. And this year, Gunnison Valley Hospital is pleased to be the official sponsor of the Manti High Templars. But you don't have to be a Templar to be in good hands at Gunnison Valley Hospital. They've been treating local athletes for more than 75 years. Whether it's a routine visit or a sports-related injury, Gunnison Valley Hospital doctors and physicians are standing by to assist high school athletes throughout the region. Cutting-edge technology, hometown convenience. That's Gunnison Valley Hospital.
Second down coming up for Manti. 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line. Wide side left. Hand it, run to that side. Cut back inside and got the first down and more. They just did the pin in on the outside, and that gave a lot of running room.
Richfield had a lot of
Stevens there, yeah.
Yep, Richfield had a lot of their backers tucked up tight in the box because pounding it straight forward for most of the third quarter. Manti makes it so that they're just trying to plug that hole. Manti goes to the outside that time and seals off the edge for the first down.
So 1st and 10 at the 14 of Richfield. 18-0 early in the fourth quarter. Handed to Max Stevens, outside, cuts inside, and going to give credit defensively. If he'll turn around here, I can see Richfield number. He got a handout. He was on the field, but he got a handout, and that was Jake Luke that kind of tripped up Stevens, and it actually ends up being a loss of a yard.
Yep, and I'm trying to see if Manti's running double tight ends or if they just had the one on the far side. If they are running double tight ends,
I said minus yard. Should have said plus yard. 1 yard gain.
Just 1 yard gain. Yeah, they're running a tight end on the right side.
Which is narrow side of the field. Handed off to the speed back. Trying to turn the corner of the left-hand side to the 10-yard line and then driven out of bounds. So that did not have that much bubble to it on a speed sweep. Get it inside the 10 and hold away on the tackle at the 9-yard line. So we'll give a solid 4.5, almost 5-yard gain.
Now we're in field goal range for Manti, but this is reminiscent from that first quarter, the same area of the field where Richfield had
bend but don't
turnover
break
on downs.
Yep. 3rd down at the 9-yard line. Hand it. Nope, going to keep it himself. Looking to throw into the end zone. Got a receiver wide open. Defender fell down, and Jordan Howe, all he had to do was make the play on the ball. So Jordan Howe wide open in the end zone off the play action. Makes the catch on the touchdown. It'll go down as, a 9-yard touchdown pass?
Yeah, we've got 9 yards on that, and that's only the second touchdown of the game. We've had a lot of weird scoring in this game, and 2 field goals for Manti. And
North Sevier 20, South Sevier 7 at the end of 3. Extra point attempt by Jorge Lemus is good. It's 24-0, Manti leading. Now it's 25-0 with the extra point. We're going to be back here in a minute.
Are you ready for a fiesta? It's always fiesta time with Mexican food that you crave at Los Amigos. Try the Mexican steak or one of my favorites, their fajitas or chimichangas. They have smothered burritos and enchiladas, non-alcoholic drinks and kids meals. They use homemade flour tortillas and every table gets chips and the secret salsa. And check out their Friday specials. It's fiesta time at Los Amigos, 3rd East and 700 South in Ephraim, right behind the movie theaters.
It's 25-0. Manti with the lead after one of their more legitimate offensive possessions of the night for Manti, starting at their 42-yard line. About a 12-play drive on that to cover the 58 yards.
And they played that different than they have the first half and the last few games. They were doing a little more spread offense, not getting it done much. Richfield's defense really holding their own tonight.
Resulted in the 9-yard touchdown pass to Jordan Howe. Lamus, junior left-footed kicker, approaches, kicks. Going to be fieldable, and then it bounced off, and it picked up at the 19-yard line by the deep back, and he's looking for somewhere to go, and then goes down to about the 25-yard line. Sebastian Wagner for Richfield that time on the return.
A little bit dangerous there.
Yeah.
Everybody's still sticking to their assignments of blocking, but that's a live ball. Whether it hits anybody or not, it's laying there on the ground. Of course, it did come off, bounce off a Richfield player. Eventually he picked it up. I think that they could have gotten another 5-10 yards if one of the closer players would have come and picked it up, not waiting for the return man to come do that.
Richfield will go at the 25-yard line, going left to right here, north to south. KMTI, KSVC, and CentraCom broadcast tonight. Wideouts will peel each way here for Richfield. They run a spread, shotgun, one running back in. And Griffin, play action, rolls to the left-hand side, down he goes. Coming on the blitz, Jordan Howe for Manti. He has been a thorn. Well, he came into this game with 100 tackles, and he's going to put a bunch more on the board tonight, too.
Yeah, and I believe Jorgen Rasmussen's, is he in the game also? Yeah, he came in on a blitz, but Jordan Howe just barely beat him to it. If Howe hadn't been there, then he would have gotten it.
So a loss of 8. Second down, 18 at the 17-yard line. They'll have the ball slightly to the left, so the wide side will be to the right. And a lot of time here for Richfield in the huddle. Finally breaking the huddle. Receiver near side will be Thalman. Slot inside of him. They go double wideouts left, too, with the one running back. So spread formation again. Griffin in the pocket. It collapses, and down he goes.
Manti's starting to do some stunts.
Yeah, they are.
They're lining up their defensive ends wider, putting that responsibility on the inside backer sometimes, just to start to switch it up. Just tons of pressure coming in there.
What did we put him in? -8, -9. We're trying to be a little generous there. The ball is timeout on the field, and the ball will be cleared back just outside the 10-yard line, and we'll be back here in 1 minute.
Zions Bank wishes the Manti High School Templars a winning season this year. And as community bankers, employees at Zions Bank's 2 convenient locations in Manti and Ephraim share your common values: commitment to family, hard work, and an appreciation for our pioneering heritage. They offer friendly personal banking services, a variety of products to meet your everyday needs, and local decision making. Discover why at Zions Bank we haven't forgotten who keeps us in business. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Mountain Land Supply of Richfield is the Central Utah leader in plumbing, waterworks, turf, and ag irrigation. Mountain Land Supply features an entire line of Rainbird sprinklers and systems for your yard or commercial property, and backs it up with an extremely knowledgeable staff that cares about the local community because they live here. Visit them at 2104 South Red Hills Drive in Richfield, or call for a showroom appointment 435-896-9606. Mountain Land Supply is proud to sponsor high school sports and wishes the teams, coaches, and players success.
The 11-yard line, third, and a whole back 40 to go for the Richfield Wildcats.
Now, they've had a lot of high snaps on their punts, so they need to at least give their punter a lot more room. They even had a safety because of a high snap on that.
The runner from the shotgun, trying to give Griffin a chance. He's going to go to the outside, and they'll have the catch made, but then the tackle will be made real quickly at the 14-yard line. And Bodie Wells, who has boded well tonight, I would say, for Richfield. And he's saying something to some of his teammates about maybe he's supposed to have somebody set the block there, and they didn't do it. He was supposed to catch and then be able to run, so Wells going to have to go back into punt formation.
Yeah, he did give himself a little bit of room by making that pass, but he's still lined up on the goal line to punt.
Calls for the snap, adjust, gets it, boots it out of there. Going to be kind of a short one. Fielded by Derek Wright at the 41-yard line. He's to the 30, the 25, and goes out of bounds across at the 20. So too much of a line drive there by Wells, and it allowed Derek Wright to return about 19 yards, 20 yards, to give Manti a 1st and 10 at the Richfield 21-yard line.
We're now playing all on one end of the field, which really swings the momentum for Manti right now.
25-0, Manti with the lead. 8:15 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Post-game show coming up, presented by Sunrise Engineering. Join us for Snow College football tomorrow on KMTI at 11:30. Right, handoff, delay handoff, and not much there. That's be a yard pickup or so. Nothing fancy about that play. It was the deep delay handoff to the tailback, Brant Stevens in that case. And the offensive line of Manti just got stood up by Richfield and you only get a yard out of it.
Eli Butler now in as right guard for Manti, starting to work in some players here.
Sophomore for Manti. Templars on a 2nd and 9 do flex a receiver out right. They have the two flankers handed off. Stevens, Max Stevens, has got it to about the 15-yard line. That's where they'll mark him down. It'll bring up 3rd and 5, short 5 at the 15 after his about 5-yard gain there.
Alder comes out, and Jet Jensen, who played as a guard pretty much the whole first half, back into the game.
It's 3rd down. All these young players that Manti plugged into the offensive line, they probably need a week in the film room. They'll have that this next week because they have a bye week. Handed off on the inside trap, pickup of about 3. That'll bring up 4th and 2 for Manti after that carry by Caden Stevenson. And they'll bring on the field goal unit here for the Manti Templars, I think, as they bring in Jorge Lemus.
And you mentioned the film room for these younger players. I did say about the younger players, they've had 4 years of playing already, but they haven't had that experience of the film room.
Up, Richfield, offsides. That was a pretty shifty move out there by Mason Holdaway trying to get back. That was breakdancing, my friend.
Yep, like you say.
Now, was he drawn across? That's the thing.
It's slippery out there, but we'll see what the call is. I'm expecting this to be a 1st down for Manti. Yep.
Yeah, it is. 5-yard mark off against Richfield. And I'm not sure Manti went with the long count because he came across pretty quick. Manti was just barely lining up and kind of setting the tee, and then he came firing across. And so it's a penalty 1st down for Manti. And the ball now at Richfield's 7.5-yard line, so it's 1st and goal.
And quite often there's not even a count for that. It's silent, and there's a sign to snap the ball by the holder.
So at 6:39, run the clock. The ref said run the clock. They didn't do it. Handoff, right-hand side. Stevens, Brant Stevens still going inside the 5-yard line. As he gets it inside the 5. Pickup of about 4. 2nd and goal from the 4. I don't think you'll see Derek Wright run a whole lot. Not to say they won't call his number here to run, but I think at this point you're thinking, protect the senior quarterback. We got one more real important game coming up. Just let him hand it off and work with the running backs.
Yeah, it's working. The momentum shift has been there. Yes, they've been winning all game, but not like marching down the field like they have been right now.
Brad Stevens, a tailback. Max Stevens, the running back, handed off to Mack. Goes right-hand side and then driven back. They'll mark him forward for a couple of yard gain. And it'll bring up 3rd and goal. About 2 yards out, I believe.
Mason Holdaway, of course, in on the stop with Wyatt Peterson.
So they mark it at the 3.5-yard line. No, 2.5-yard line. So be 3rd and 2.5 to go for Manti for the touchdown. Whiteside is to the left. With the way Manti's running right now, that has not made any difference. They're just going interior mano-a-mano offense right now. Hand it off again to the inside and slashing in. Close to the goal line. Right down close to it, but stop just shy on the carry, and it'll be 4th and inches to go for the touchdown. I think that was good on that carry.
Kicking team coming in now.
And it will be a kicking unit back on for the Manti Templars. A yard out. This is like an extra point attempt. In fact, it's closer than an extra point attempt for Jorge Lemus.
Yeah, I'd almost expect Derek to set up to hold in the regular spot for a extra point.
Just ask for your snapper, Squire, to get it back there longer, or for Cheese to get it back there longer. Field goal is good. So that one was up without any problem. So 7-yard field goal, and Manti puts another 3 on the board, and they are on top at 28-0. We'll be back here in a minute.
The living room. It's a great place to watch TV. Just like your backyard, break time at the office, or while on the go. Now you can watch TV everywhere. Stream your favorite shows or live TV from many channels in your cable package on any computer, tablet, or smartphone. It's all included with CentraCom cable TV service for no extra cost. Sign up to watch TV everywhere today. Call or visit CentraCom.com to learn more.
AmeriGas Propane is America's #1 propane supplier. Why? Because AmeriGas Propane of Central Utah is the most reliable, safest, and responsive propane service. Your AmeriGas drivers go the extra mile to offer service you can rely on. AmeriGas Propane of Richfield features a local staff that serves you 24/7. Don't put a price on your family safety. Call today, 435-896-5071, 896-5071. It's never too late to save on propane. Lock in your price and ask about their monthly payment program. Go to AmeriGas.com.
The kickoff line drive one, fielded at the 5-yard line to the 15, 17-yard line. Sebastian Wagner will go down there. 1st and 10 at the 17 for Richfield.
Tyler Squire in on the tackle, and for Manti also we're seeing Cooper Perry part of the tackle too.
So 1st and 10, 18-yard line for the Richfield Wildcats. And, you know, we've got some numbers that actually add up to something common in football now. 28-0. It's come through safeties and field goals and kinds of things.
Like we were saying, 10 is a common score. Manti had that at one point, but got there the weird way. Same with 12. 28. Interesting scoring game for Manti.
1st and 10 to 18 for Richfield. Has not had anything to do offensively tonight. Just can't get it going against this Manti defense. But they played well defensively, Richfield did. Roll out left side. Going to be a loss there. They just don't have a play, Richfield really doesn't, that they can run and have any success with against the Templars. Griffin goes down there for the loss. It was quarterback roll. I don't know if he had receivers going deep. I assume they were going to try to get a pass play going, but he goes down for a loss of 4.
Preston Moon coming into the game. Tristan Barrett coming out. Manti being quite different on their setup now. You got Derek Wright somewhat playing kind of like a cornerback without a safety there.
Expecting a run.
Yep, very heavy blitzing, too, going on.
Deepest is the cornerback playing on the inside slot receiver. And on the other defensive back, Nate Lee in there. Here's the roll to the outside inside. Nate Lee makes contact. Be a rush out to about the 16-yard line. So it's going to get back to where the original line of scrimmage was. Not the original, but after that snap came. They're going to give him a 1-yard gain, folks. Round it up for him. Pickup of a yard to the 16.
We had at least 5 Templars in on that tackle, and that's where it starts to get risky as a ball carrier. You stay standing up too long while they're wrapping you up. The ball starts to come loose. They were trying to strip it. This isn't a place to get a turnover.
Templars backups on the front line. Meekham's at a defensive end. Cummings is at a defensive end right now. They've gotten a lot of subs in for Manti defensively. Leaving Jordan Howe and a couple of the very experienced defensive backfield people in right now, expecting Richfield to look for the pass play. 2 running backs in this time behind Griffin. That's quarterback making the pitch to the outside, and it's going to be a big loss. They went to Mason Holdaway. He had nowhere to go. Lost clear back to the 6 or 7 yard line. See where they spot it. Finally, that's going to be a.
I guess that's a way you reward your free safety too, right? You let him blitz. Derek Wright in the backfield there to make that tackle.
-7 and 4th and long punt situation. And he's really fudging up on the kick return. I guess he's just saying, I may let this go over my head if it needs to. Otherwise, he's open to get a good one in there. And they are looking for and it's going to go over on downs. That's what Wright was probably expecting, but he didn't have to get on the play because covering out there was Nate Lee anyway.
And Jordan Howe made the tackle.
Bodie Wells on the run, and he's still on a knee on the turf. Now he's going to get up. And that looked like he made the call, and he really should have booted that out. Even if he had the rugby style, he had no chance once he got outside. It looked like he had some room, and then all of a sudden as far as they had to go, he had no chance.
And Manti was calling it off. They weren't rushing heavy. I think that's what made him think he had it, is because Manti was just sticking with lanes and letting him kick it.
What you put in there for that rush? Goes as a rush.
How many yards?
Nothing, basically. Line of scrimmage. I don't think he got much out of it. Manti, right-hand side from the 10.5-yard line. So it's, they say first and goal. He was at the 10. So 1-yard pickup. 1 yard.
He
I
got a
thought it was about a 1-yard gain. Yeah. 1-yard gain for Manti, too, or 1.5 yards. Second and goal from the 8-yard line. So about 2-yard gain there. About a minute 35. Speed back, motions from left to right. That's the younger player. And get the handoff made to Court Olson. Court gets it to about the 4.5-yard line, so a pickup of 3 for him. And it'll be third and goal. Manti's not really concerned about whether they do punch this one in or not. They'll play it for the best they can, but they're getting younger players in. Marshall Dotson will come in now for Manti. They lead 28-0.
The line is mostly the same except for Eli Butler that we mentioned earlier had already come in.
This was kind of a put-it-together offensive line anyway for Manti. They wanted to have them get all the reps they can, and Manti on the carries. Dotson still struggling, still trying to break the plane. Gets to the half-yard line.
They gave it to him on the close
near side. Okay. Far side guy didn't even get entered in it, but they finally say Dotson broke the plane. He comes up limping, but he got his touchdown run.
He was
wanted
fighting
so badly.
for it. He was fighting for it. He had Wildcats wrapped all around his legs, and he kept churning to drive that in to get. He would have had to reach out to get it across the goal line.
So 48 seconds on the clock. Dotson scores. And then comes off the field, and he hurt himself. Placement, kick. Lemus, another extra point attempt. Good tonight. And Dotson's acting like it's just a cramp up in that left leg. So the point after good, 35-0 Manti. Back with the kickoff in a minute.
You've heard for years that Gunnison Market is your hometown grocer. Now Gunnison Market offers you a hometown pharmacist. Come experience friendly hometown service from Sean Sorensen at Gunnison Market Pharmacy. Sean grew up in Gunnison and offers competitive prices, expert advice, and convenient hours, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Explore the loyalty card benefits, which gives you a free gift card for every 10 prescriptions filled. Call 528-7555 or visit Gunnison Market Pharmacy.
New Holland's T7 Series tractors from Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora deliver more power but lower your operating costs. Talk about a great combination. These 100 to 195 PTO horsepower tractors feature engines with EcoBlue SCR engine technology. They breathe better for more complete combustion and deliver cleaner power, increased torque, and enhanced fuel economy. Stop by Mason Machinery in Springville and Aurora and learn more about the T7 Series tractors from New Holland.
Oh, it's an ugly kick. Finally picked up at the 17-yard line and into the secondary for Richfield out to the 33. So the broken play ended up kind of working for him. And again, on the return, making something happen to Sebastian Wagner, who's fielded a fair share of those here in tonight's game. We'll name our players of the game coming up on our post game. I can tell you right now, I think Thalman's our pick of defensive player of the game for Richfield. Outstanding night tonight.
Yeah, he did an excellent job. He even got his hand on a tip and a pass. He's been in a lot of tackles in the backfield of Manti.
Richfield at the 34. Coming up next week, Richfield at Carbon. That'll be a KSVC AM broadcast, as will the Delta at Richfield to conclude the season. So the next 2 weeks, Wednesday and then Friday for Richfield coverage. And Griffin stepping into the pocket against some under coverage and made a nice delivery. Nice pass by Griffin, getting it into the hands of Mason Allred, who was slow getting up because he really got drilled. Manti's got a bunch of subs in there, but it's going to be a 12-yard gain and the first down for the Richfield Wildcats. So there's their best and biggest pass play of the night.
Yeah, and he's getting up. He's all right. So that was perfectly thrown, though, because if he hadn't placed it there was good coverage by number 12, Alberto Palmerin from Manti. He's the one that laid the hit on him to cause him to be slow getting up there.
Now, why did they say he dropped the ball? They brought it back.
They brought it back.
Oh, my. Okay. Take that one out of the books.
They're winding the clock, though. Is that on a mercy rule?
So 2nd down and 10. They say he dropped the ball. I thought he had the possession. Griffin looking. Going to pass out to the left flat. Going to get it to his receiver and makes the catch. And maybe Richfield gets some points on the board. And he's going to try to get it to the 2-yard line. Working hard. Mason hold away against the backups of Manti in that defensive secondary. And Brant Stevens finally came over from a safety spot, I think, to make the tackle finally and hang on for everything he was worth. So long pass play. I'm going to have Wendy go to the calculator to pick that one up because I have no idea.
Yeah.
From the 34, wherever we ended up with there, at the 2-yard line.
Manti short one player, but Mika making the decision, telling him the team that's on the field, you guys are going to hold this, not sending the starters back in.
They are taking time out on the field, and we'll be back in a minute.
You know that Sevier Valley Medical Center provides our communities with high-quality care through advanced technology with a hometown touch. What you may not know about are the wide variety of services that we provide, allowing you to stay close to home. Our on-site specialty services include orthopedics, ENT, general surgery, podiatry, and internal medicine, all available full-time, allowing you to utilize them when it's convenient for you, not just a few days each month. That's Intermountain Sevier Valley Medical Center, healing for life.
At Cache Valley Bank, we have an app for that. Hi, this is Shayna, and our new Cache Valley Bank app will let you view your accounts on the go. You'll also be able to search for branches or ATMs near you, transfer funds, view recent activity, and deposit checks, all with a touch of a button. And our checking accounts offer free debit cards, lower rates than our competitors, and no minimum balance. So when you check your balance on that new Cache Valley Bank app, all you'll see is green. Stop by today and meet our friendly staff in Ephraim, Mount Pleasant, and Fairview. Cache Valley Bank, a tradition of helping, member FDIC.
15 seconds remaining, and Richfield with a 1st and goal at the 4. That's where they marked it down. We thought the 2. They marked it at the 4. And Griffin looking to throw, and a catch is made, but driven back. So that'll be a pickup of about 2.5 yards. They'll be at the 2-yard line. 2-yard pass completion.
Braxton Good on the stop. The linemen in for Manti are still the second string and holding their own.
Ben Rozier checks back in for Manti, though. And Jorgen Rasmussen checks out. Now, what? Okay. They still back to the 4-yard line. I thought he advanced to the 2 on the pass catch, and they're saying back to the 4. We'll take a 30-second timeout.
Is there anything more beautiful than DQ soft serve? Smooth and creamy, the best kind of chili. Whether alone in a cone or making the sweet foundation for our famous blizzard treats, the DQ soft serve is made to make your taste buds go, whoa, that's good. Check it out for yourself at the Dairy Queen in Elsinore next to the Sunny Shopper. Take the I-70 exit and bam, you're there. DQ, this is fan food, not fast food. Check it out for yourself at the Dairy Queen in Elsinore next to the Sunny Shopper.
9 seconds remaining for Richfield, and 2nd and goal from the 4. They did not give him forward progress on that last pass for some reason. And so 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line, again for Richfield. Templars back out defensively. Solo coverage on the wide receivers each way. Way out here on the 1 split will be the solo coverage. Post pattern worked really good here, but defensive back forces him inside. They try to run it. And maybe, let's see if they give him forward progress finally. They do. 2-yard gain, and it's going to be 3rd and goal from, and that's the end of the game. So they ran it, didn't get it in for the touchdown, and the ball game is over. And it is a shutout, 35-0. The Manti Templars victorious over the Richfield Wildcats. Our postgame show is coming up now, presented by Sunrise Engineering, serving clients in Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, and Arizona for over 30 years. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
If you've ever seen something that is lopsided, whether it is a bike with one wheel smaller than the other, or you made something that had one part that was different than the other, then take a picture of it and enter the lopsided photo contest presented by Manti Telecommunications and Channel 3 Productions. There are great prizes for the top photos, so be creative. You can find something or make something lopsided and take a picture. For rules and to enter today, go to manti.com. Entries are due by September 30th, and voting will commence on Manti Telecommunications' Facebook page at the beginning of October. So start searching for lopsided things and enter today.
Hi, I'm Mark Huntsman, Senior Vice President of Sunrise Engineering. I would like to thank all of our loyal clients and employees who have contributed to the success of our company. Sunrise Engineering has been recently recognized nationally in the top 500 engineering firms and as a recipient of the National Client Satisfaction Award 5 years in a row. We are presently expanding at Sunrise and are looking to add engineers, surveyors, and other support staff. To join our team, visit our website or call Sunrise Engineering at 800-560-6151.
Riverstone Contractors is your plumbing source for Sevier County. Riverstone can fix leaking pipes, replace water heaters, fix and replace faucets, disposals, water softeners, and toilets, along with tubs, showers, and grab bars for your bathroom. Riverstone does plumbing for new construction and remodels. They also take care of your heating and air conditioning needs with central air, swamp coolers, gas furnaces, and sheet metal ducts. For the best plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service, call Riverstone Contractors at 435-896-6264. That's 896-6264.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured that Sanpete Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal, hometown touch. Intermountain Sanpete Valley Hospital, healing for life.
This is our Sunrise Engineering post-game show with Larry Masco, Russ Olson, Wendy Olson on stats in the booth, and Bob Ballman on the field tonight, and Barrett Hilton on the CentraCom feed. We broadcast KSVC, KMTI, and CentraCom tonight. Final score, 35-0. Manti shutting out the Richfield Wildcats. And let's go in our scoring review presented by Sunrise Engineering. First play of the game for Manti. They took over after a fumble by Richfield at the 3-yard line. Max Stevens 3-yard run. Manti scored, 2-point conversion. And at 11-13, they were up 8-0. Then came a safety with 2:12 remaining. That put Manti up 10-0. Another safety, and that was on a high snap on a attempted punt. That was 12-0. And then the Templars got a field goal at the 3:12 mark in the second quarter from Lamus. Go up 15-0. 32 seconds remaining in the quarter, and it was another field goal, 32-yarder by Lamus, and put him up there at 18-0. That was our halftime score. A couple of turnovers, a fumble and interception that first half by Richfield. In the second half, no score in the third quarter. Then in the fourth period, Manti culminated a 12-play drive, 58 yards. Howe, 9-yard pass catch. Point after was good. Manti led 25-0 with 10:18 remaining in the ball game. And then a Lamus field goal with 4:37 remaining, 28-0 Manti. Had a 42 and a 37-yard on the field goals tonight. And then with 48 seconds remaining, substitutes in, and Mitch Dotson and a 4-yard run. Started at the Richfield 10, so that was a 3-play drive. Point after was good, and it was Manti 35-0 over Richfield. Richfield threatened late, ran for a running play. Last play of the ball game expired the clock. Couldn't get it into the end zone, so 35-0. Our scoring summary here presented by Sunrise Engineering. See their office locations at sunrise-eng.com. More postgame looking at scores and some stats when we come back.
Hi, I'm Mark Huntsman, Senior Vice President of Sunrise Engineering. I would like to thank all of our loyal clients and employees who have contributed to the success of our company. Sunrise Engineering has been recently recognized nationally in the top 500 engineering firms and as a recipient of the National Client Satisfaction Award 5 years in a row. We are presently expanding at Sunrise and are looking to add engineers, surveyors, and other support staff. To join our team, visit our website or call Sunrise Engineering at 800-560-6151.
Bargain roofing job failing and your ceiling is damaged? Is your siding looking really shabby? Or you just want a new look? For as little as $150 per month, Clean Cut Roofing and Siding will update your home using 100% American-made products. That's right, all made right here in the great USA. And hey, take 48 to 120 months to pay. Fit it into your budget. Call Clean Cut Roofing and Siding for a free consultation, 435-427-3205. Or check them out on Facebook. Clean Cut Roofing and Siding. Peace of mind every time.
At Zions Bank, they haven't forgotten who keeps them in business. It's you. While Zions Bank has offices in 10 western states, you are still number one. From checking and savings to business and personal loans, Zions Bank now offers its customers online banking services. Zions Bank is a leader in providing electronic banking services. If you haven't seen what Zions Bank has to offer you, stop in today. Zions Bank in Richfield, 55 West, 100 North, behind the post office.
An old friend was telling me he's tired of jumping on a piece of equipment just to have something come off in his hand. That won't happen when you have Barclay Mechanical on your repair team. Equipment repair or fabrication, yep, Barclay Mechanical can do. Metal or mechanical repair or fabrication, yep, you guessed it, can do at Barclay Mechanical in Manti. Call Barclay Mechanical 835-5084 or stop by 595 West 100 North in Manti. 835-5084. Oh yeah, go get them, Manti Templars.
It's our post-game show presented by Sunrise Engineering, 35-0. Final tonight, Manti over Richfield. Say about our players of the game. For the Manti Templars tonight, very balanced attack. We're going to go with Doug Sheese, who's kind of the unsung guy, defensive end. Will you take between he and also Howe? Those two defensive guys just disrupt other teams' offense a lot, and they did it again tonight. So Doug Sheese, also part of that offensive line, is our player of the game tonight for the Manti Templars. Snowcap Lane's player of the ball game. His certificate gets him a hamburger, fries, and 2 games of bowling. Tonight for the Richfield Wildcats, defensive player of the ball game. I'd like to say, first off, Russ, team effort. Again, I know what the scoring ended up being, but Richfield, they earned my praise tonight for what they did defensively, because it was not an easy assignment coming in for them, and they basically got the job done. I think they just wore out in the fourth quarter.
They did wear out, and momentum shifts because of how the whole game's going. It becomes mental, but they did an excellent job defensively. Richfield did they caused Manti to need to change strategies.
Yes.
It was a big shift for Manti to go back to pounding the ball just straight forward in the second half. Didn't even get any scores in the third quarter. So
Jackson Thalman is our defensive player of the game tonight. The Dairy Queen defensive player gets a free meal. Dairy Queen and Elsinore make any occasion special. And be sure to try the Orange Julius products, smoothies, Arctic Rushes, etc. at Dairy Queen in Elsinore. And for our offensive player of the game tonight, Bodie Wells, the sophomore for Richfield. He was kind of a multi-purpose player tonight. He had to do a lot of things under duress, including the punting game tonight. So it's Bodie Wells that is the Jorgensen Lanes Herb's Place player of the ball game. And free meal at Herb's Place. Come out, dine out on the delicious food there, and bowling fun for the entire family at those 2 locations. And so there's our players of the ball game. Let's go to our stat wrap up here. And as it summed out tonight, Manti ended up with 123 yards in rushing, 227 in passing. A lot of their rushing came in that fourth quarter of play. 9 of 18, 104 yards in the passing department, and 123 in the rushing for 227 yards in total. For Richfield tonight, they ended up in negative yardage in rushing, nearly almost 25 yards minus there. They did get enough in passing, though, to get themselves into around the 60-yard mark, and some total offense there for the Richfield Wildcats. That's a look at our stat recap. We'll take another Sunrise Engineering post-game timeout. Be back with final words.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking in Salina has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking's Big Blue trucks are recognizable throughout the Intermountain West, hauling products that keep this country running. Barney Trucking is honored to be a part of Central Utah and supports our local schools and community. When you're out on the roads, remember to drive safely. Barney Trucking of Salina, proud to support the high school teams this season.
Hi, I'm Mark Huntsman, Senior Vice President of Sunrise Engineering. I would like to thank all of our loyal clients and employees who have contributed to the success of our company. Sunrise Engineering has been recently recognized nationally in the top 500 engineering firms and as a recipient of the National Client Satisfaction Award 5 years in a row. We are presently expanding at Sunrise and are looking to add engineers, surveyors, and other support staff. To join our team, visit our website or call Sunrise Engineering at 800-560-6151.
Every night's like family night at Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place. When you want the best burger in town, you'll find it at Herb's Place. Got a birthday or special event? You'll find the facilities at Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place. If you want arcade games, you'll find them at Jorgensen Bowling Center. If you want a light show and cosmic bowling, hey, you'll find it at Jorgensen Bowling Center. Your family deserves the best. Your family or event is special to Jorgensen Bowling Center and Herb's Place, 980 South Coveview Road, Richfield.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesanddemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
The Sunrise Engineering post-game show, 35-0. Manti victorious over Richfield tonight. And let's go to Russ Olson, take a look at a few individual stats tonight.
Mason Holdaway for Richfield had 62 yards with 2 receptions. McKay Lewis, 14 yards for 2. Each catching a pass would be Mason Allred and Bodie Wells, 9 yards for Allred and 4 for Wells. Also for Manti, we had Max Stevens pulling in 4 catches for 56 yards. Jordan Howe, some really good ones for 4. Was one of those for a touchdown?
Yes.
And 45 yards for Jordan Howe. Nate Lee caught one for 8 yards. In the rushing department, Max Stevens led Manti with 16 carries, totaling 50 yards. Brant Stevens, 24 yards. Caden Stevenson, 21. Nate Lee, 2 carries for 9 yards. Marshall Dodson had a carry. I think we missed some on those for him. I think he was in the teens for his yardage on the carries. And Cord Olson also carried for 3 yards.
Actually, Marshall did have a loss on one of his carries, and then that one for touchdown was just a short yardage situation. So anyway, I was just going to mention, Richfield, did they hold Manti under 100 yards in rushing? Bring that back up on that.
On team stats, Manti was at 94 yards for the total. We were close on that with Bob Ballman. That sack at the end of the second half was kind of a discrepancy between us.
But they held Manti under 100 yards, Richfield did. That, I know, they lost a ball game, but there's a feather in your cap. You hold Manti under 100 yards rushing, you've done something right. And it wasn't like Manti was turning the ball over on a bunch of fumbles or things like that. They just got it done for Richfield and a young team. And watch out, Delta's very young. Richfield's fairly young now with the injuries that they've had. And next year, we talked about how there's going to be 4 really balanced teams this year. Next year, you could have a dogfight with 6 teams in the region because some of the other teams are going to kind of come back in the pack. Canyon View, I'm hearing that they might have lost their quarterback. They were leading Delta by only 2 points just a bit ago.
In the third quarter, so we'll try and get the latest update on that.
Beaver running away from San Juan, down at San Juan at 41-19, so there's a 2A game of interest. And South Sevier, 20 unanswered points, defeats North Sevier 27-20. Fourth quarter comeback for South Sevier to win that one. So there's just a few of the scores. And Canyon View, we'll have it on the sports wrap-up tomorrow morning. Mike Trainer will run down that Canyon View Delta final thing here. Juan Diego, Carbon 49-0. They probably even called off the pack on that one, too, for it. And Dixie way over Hurricane. Dixie flexing their muscle. But they took a little one on the chin from Snow Canyon a while back. That's a crazy league right down there in that 3AA South as well. And let's see, do we not have anything on Canyon View? Went right past it. 24-22 was still in the third quarter, so we don't have an update there on that one.
I would expect that's in the fourth quarter by now, but we don't have an update.
So more tomorrow. They'll have this final on that. That wraps it up here. We appreciate all of our sponsors tonight. Mountain Supply, AmeriGas Richfield, DP Curtis Trucking, Zions Bank Richfield, Mason Machinery, Sevier Valley Medical Center, Dairy Queen, Jones & DeMille Engineering, and Riverstone Contractors, Larson's Ace Hardware, Barney Trucking. Of course, New Charter University is our halftime show sponsor. Sunrise Engineering on his post-game, Snow College pregame, Jorgensen Lanes and Herb's Place on our player of the game. For Manti, Snowcap Lanes, player of the game. Also sponsored by Los Amigos, Gunnison Hospital, Rick Bartholomew Insurance, Jones & DeMille Engineering, Barkley Mechanical, Clean Cut Roofing, Santee Valley Hospital, Manti Telephone, Cache Valley Bank, Eco-Life, Gunnison Market, D-Land Title, and Zions Bank Manti. And broadcasting tonight, KMTI and KSVC, and also CentraCom Channel 10. Join us for Snow College football tomorrow. CentraCom on KMTI at 11:30 for that pregame. And tomorrow night on KSVC-FM will be BYU Cougars. Final here again, 35-0 Manti over Richfield. Good evening.
You've been listening to exciting high school football action on South Central Utah's sports leaders, Mid-Utah Radio and CentraCom Channel 10. This sports broadcast has been brought to you by sports-minded sponsors throughout South Central Utah. Join us next time for more exciting high school football action on CentraCom Channel 10 and Mid-Utah Radio.